Hey, what's up? Welcome to Movie Dumpster Season 3, Episode 32. Today we're talking about Call Me Claus from 2001, directed by Peter Werner. I'm Joe Lascola.
I'm Sean O'Rourke.
I'm Connor. Call me Claus, because I ripped my own eyes out and put them in my hands and, said liberate tutte me towards the screen when this movie was over. McGraw!
And I guess that makes me Julie Lockwood.
Welcome to the dumpster.
Lucy, as you know, I have been Santa for very nearly 200 years. But that's only the half of it. The Santa before me also served for 200 years, as did the Santa before him, and so on, right back to the original St. Nicholas in the 3rd century.
Right.
Now, sadly, my term of office is drawing to a close, and the rules of Christmas decree that I have to find somebody to take my place before midnight on Christmas Eve. And if I don't, the or else factor takes effect.
The or else factor?
Well, you've heard about the Great Flood and Noah's Ark?
Yeah.
This time there's no ark.
Oh, get out of here! I know you were not trying to convince me that flood happened because you couldn't find a Santa Claus.
This is a fucking dry fart in a church of a movie. What the fuck?
Connor can't make it to the end of the show. He's got to give it away in the first 5 seconds.
Yeah, for real. My God.
Let's set the scene here. This is a made-for-TV movie with Whoopi Goldberg long after she gave a shit.
Did she ever give a shit?
I think it was about the time when she stopped giving it, I think, is what it was.
How many shits did Whoopi give?
Yeah, so here we are. We got our second movie kicking up for our trashing through the snow month, and we got my fiance, the lovely Julie Lockwood, on the show with us today, bringing us some Whoopi Goldberg made-for-TV goodness, question mark?
I mean, Merry Christmas, guys. Really.
Thank you.
This is the best I could do.
If the holiday spirit isn't just falling out of your ass at the end of this movie, then are you even human?
It's dripping off my dreadlocks. I just can't.
It's dripping out of Whoopi's ass, that's for sure. Down her leg, down the sleigh.
Sop it up with those dreadlocks. Take a little sip. Tastes like Christmas spirit to me.
So good.
This makes the holiday switch look like just a cheerful ride.
What?
I wouldn't go that far.
Connor, no. No, you hated this that much?
If you want the deep opinions of Holiday Switch watchers, just go over to our YouTube channel and look at the episode and read the comments.
Oh my goodness, somebody was like, you guys just didn't get it.
Who said that?
And I'm like, can you please explain to me what we didn't get about this movie?
I've misinterpreted the art.
I mean, I think we all got it. It was just fucking stupid.
I got it. There's not much to get.
No.
I mean,
Yeah, it's not a fucking reffin' movie. Like, what are you trying to tell me?
I can't believe someone's trying to defend it over there on YouTube.
I love how, they started explaining it, and then their whole conversation just fucking unraveled, and by the end of the comment, they were like, yeah, it sucks.
They were like, yeah, you know what? I think they get the present at the end. You know what? That doesn't really make any sense.
Now that I've looked at the description of this movie, maybe
Now that I've typed it out and read it back, I'm like, oh yeah, this is fucking stupid. Yep, sure is.
Nobody that went through that dryer and came out the other side ever ended up in better shape. I mean, let's look at Allie Oates. She came out as fucking Grimace, and she's never been the same since.
That's true. I think that's what it is. That fucking dryer fucks you up, man. Could be.
Well, she has compound tragedy syndrome, where it's like every bad thing that could happen to her has happened.
It dries up the holiday spirit right out of you. Mm-hmm.
She's pretty much had to just, cover herself in those clothes 24/7 because that Grimace visage is just hideous.
That's what gives her power, though, is those dirty clothes.
Yeah, the Grimace, skin, fur, whatever you want to call it, is an unfortunate side effect of climbing through that dryer.
Yeah, it's kind of like Dr. Manhattan, sort of. But she's a big purple stupid thing.
Right, she's cursed.
Well, she's the mother of DC's Ragman, remember?
Yeah, there you go, she's cursed. So yeah, there's not too much, usually we drop the trivias on you or whatever, and we talk about all the wonderful actors and actresses and special effects guys and history and all that kind of stuff, but there really isn't shit with this. The director, Peter Werner, just did a ton of TV, a bunch of Who Could Give a Fucks. He did, he directed, some of the Ghost Whisperer, an episode of NCIS, just random shit. I don't care. So... the only other thing I got for you is this is a TNT original for the Christmas season of 2001.
2001. So when I first suggested this to Joe, in my head I'm like, yeah, I used to watch this movie as a kid all the time. And then I looked it up and I'm like, 2001? I was in fucking high school. What am I talking about? When did I watch this fucking movie? What was I on? What was going on? I have a shit memory, no doubt about it, but that's pretty bad. Pretty bad that I first saw this in high school.
Well, if you go by the 2020 time scale, then that was 30 years ago, because January of this year was 5 years ago.
Yes, very true.
The tender age of 7 years old. Oh, wait, I was smoking cigarettes when this came out.
I was probably watching the Royal Rumble or something, or I think it was Armageddon, actually.
I probably was too, Connor, to be honest. Not gonna lie.
I think Triple H and Vince was the year before. I think that year was a 6-man Hell in a Cell.
Oh, so good.
I'm glad that you know that.
Yeah, so before we get into this holiday treat, do we have any Patreon questions? Senor Sean.
Yes, we do. We got a few here. And you can always head over to that patreon.com/movie dumpster, sign up for any tier, get access to all the posts on there, and you can ask us questions. And, of course, you can always email us over at moviedumpsterpodcast@gmail.com. Our first question here comes from Jacob Fonsbeck, and he says, as it is trashing through the snow, what would be the trashiest gift you have ever gotten or given to someone?
Just a crappy gift?
Yeah, I guess, right?
We did a Secret Santa, the first animal hospital I worked at, and let's just say, the environment there was the absolute worst. Nobody, there's a few close-knit people, and I got someone from Kennels who I had absolutely no relationship with, and I just got her, a coffee mug with a dog on it. A day later, I was like, that's the lamest gift I've ever given anybody.
I mean...
That I got at Ross for $4.
It could be worse. You know that she's into dogs at least. And everybody loves a coffee mug.
Yeah, she was like, oh, cool. She's like a golden retriever. I'd like those. I was like, woot.
The workplace Secret Santas usually have some of the worst gifts. It's either a really good gag gift. Hey, here's a coffee mug with some fucking marshmallows you're never going to use. And I've definitely given a few of those away. I'm sorry.
I'd rather get a mug full of marshmallows and hot chocolate.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, but it's not really, I think that's the shittiest thing I can think of, I guess.
It's not the worst gift.
The shittiest thing I can think of, it was my second job ever as a graphic designer, just out of school. And I worked so hard at this job, and I really put a lot of work in. And it was supposed to be a goof, but they got me a shirt that said, I draw pictures all day, and thought that was funny.
Wow.
Because it wasn't a real job,
Wow.
I think that's the shittiest thing. And they were like, here, get it? And I'm like, yeah, fuck you. Thank you.
Oh, that's dark, honey.
Suffice to say, that was probably one of the worst jobs that I've ever had.
Yeah.
Thank you for this gift that's reductive of my passion. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yes, perfect. Thank you. So I think that's the worst one. I even if I don't have a lot of money, or even if it's I've never done the Secret Santa shit at work. I'm not into that. I don't really try to make friends with my coworkers because that's just how I am. At least, not outside of work. I at least put a little bit of thought in it. I'm perceptive. You can tell when somebody likes something or not. If I didn't know Sean, I saw him every day, and I saw what kind of shirts he wore and stuff, I can glean what he's into, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, yeah.
I guess where I was going with that was if I can't remember any offhand, but if I had bought somebody something, it was semi I think it's very akin to Connor's story with the dog on the mug. I mean, she liked dogs. She works at a vet. There you go. Bingo bongo.
Haggerty?
The other side of that is that the person who got me went out of their way to print out this fucking huge reverse flash art that I happen to like, but didn't know they were after this, and just fucking slapped on our t-shirt and gave it to me. I was like, this is the best gift I've ever gotten. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Love this.
Well, that's very thoughtful, you see.
I'm trying to think of the worst gift I've ever given, though. Because it's gotten or given, or both.
I mean, he specifically does say trashiest, so...
Oh, trashiest.
Doesn't necessarily have to be bad. It could just be like, this was kind of a cool gift, but it kind of sucked at the same time, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a loose definition.
I mean, I did once give my dear sister-in-law a burned copy of Hanson's Christmas album, Snowed In, which some people would probably consider trashy, but like, listen, that album fucks. It's great. I remember buying it at the Wiz. Come at me if you feel bad about it. But yeah, that was pretty bad, I guess.
I can't think of a single gift that I got from a relative, but there have been plenty of times where like an aunt has tried to figure out what I'm into by just throwing something at the wall.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
And just got home with like this, like, here's this thing you might like. It's like, I have no investment in this whatsoever, but thank you. I'll see you again next year.
Or the opposite of that, where everybody knows when you're into one thing and then you get every single thing that has to do with that topic.
Oh my God. How many fucking Led Zeppelin things did I get over the years?
Mm-hmm.
That's like my dad. He always tells a story that like one Christmas or a birthday or something, he mentioned that he liked penguins, and then he just got like penguin shit for like the rest of his life.
It's like, guys, I said I liked penguins. Like, give me a fucking break.
I'm not in love with penguins.
I mean, he's kind of into it, but I think he definitely thinks that people overreacted.
Oh, we used to do, this is like an infamous thing in my family. We used to do the game gift. I think Julie has even experienced that a couple times at my uncle's house.
I have.
And for a while there, it was like, you know, they would, all the women would like buy like the same thing, so they all got the same thing that they all like, right? But like a lot of times it was just like the silliest shit. And long story short, it got to a point where like people were like getting mad at each other over the gifts, so we just stopped doing it altogether.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to blow up my family spot too much, but it was pretty funny.
And then it got really intense.
It did.
It did. It got super passionate and intense.
Some people were like, you know what, we're just bringing booze. And everybody was like, yeah, we're on board with that. And then some other people were like,
yeah,
let's go get that Radio Shack alarm clock radio that goes in the shower. I'm like, that's going to be a great gift.
Let's get a travel billiards kit.
Yes.
You know, those little fucking pool tables that you play in the car that you can't play with in the car?
Oh, yeah.
Tabletop billiards.
Scrabble to go.
Yeah.
Trouble on the road. Used to have it. I'm not even making that up.
Oh, my God.
It probably wasn't actually called that, but it was definitely Trouble, this little tiny fucking one.
Yeah, getting into trouble, sure.
Yeah. You weren't getting into too much trouble when you had that game. That was getting you into and out of trouble at the same time.
It's all over the fucking floor now, but, you know, under the seats that disappeared into the dark recesses of the station wagon or whatever, the minivan.
Right, yeah, and you open up the trunk and they go fall on the ground in the middle of some fucking rest stop and you're never to be seen again.
Yeah.
But thank you for that question, Jacob. We go to our next question from Nick Lowry. How you doing, Nick? He says, another movie I have not seen yet. Well, neither did I think most of us until this recording. He says, any chance Whoopi turns into a Santa Claus monster of some kind?
I wish, man.
I mean...
Well, your guess was half right.
Yeah, right.
What is your definition of monster?
Ask and ye shall get. She's going to be Krampus now.
Oh, my God.
In a Photoshop wonder.
Well, she is a monster of a person to work for, and, you know, spoilers, kind of become Santa Claus, so maybe yes?
Sort of.
You don't bring her that latte, then she's really getting angry. That's when she turns into a monster.
It's got to be a vanilla one.
Yeah, she needs a Snickers.
And she ain't saying thank you.
For anything, by the way.
Yeah, so if that didn't clue you in, Nick, you'll find out by the end of this episode, if you have yet to see it by the time you listen.
Now I'm thinking of all kinds of stuff. Like, what about the Bumble with, like, dreadlocks?
That would be a good look.
Yeah, maybe. I could kind of see it.
There you go, yeah.
I'm seeing, like, a death claw from Fallout with Whoopi's attire.
Okay.
The long claws coming at you, darting towards you at full speed.
It's just Krampus, but it has her glasses and hair.
No eyebrows, though.
And the Santa jacket without a belt.
No eyebrows, Julie? Is that what you said?
No eyebrows.
Question: has Whoopi Goldberg ever had eyebrows?
No.
Yeah.
When?
She did, right? At one point, was she in like an accident or something?
You Photoshop some eyebrows on Whoopi Goldberg and tell me if that looks normal.
Damn, it's probably one of those things where, like, I just don't think about it, but now that we're talking about it, I have to, like, think back.
I'm always like, what is off about her face? I'm like, oh, she doesn't have any eyebrows. Okay.
It's like trying to ponder when Bruce Willis went bald. You don't know.
Since birth.
It's been part of your life for a long time.
Right, yeah.
He was born bald and just stayed that way.
I'm just used to it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, Nick. Our next question from Kyle McDonald. So my question is, what was your favorite Christmas present ever? The one you will remember or the rest of your life. So kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum of Jacob there.
That one's a little bit easier.
Oh, that's a little tough.
For me, that one's a little bit easier because I was always a fucking Barbie Dreamhouse girl. Like, I know I'm not the super girliest girl, but man, my mom got me one that was like, and it was fucking made out of cardboard. It was just a cardboard backing, fucking plastic framing, and this elevator that you had to pull with this string, and I thought it was the coolest shit of all time. I still talk to my mom about it. I'm like, by the way, if you just want to get me a Barbie dream house, that's fine, Ma. Like, I'll be good. It's totally fine. I think that's probably, I was so excited as a kid to get that and another Barbie dream house when I was older that had a battery operated elevator, and I remember playing with that. And the same year my brother got Nintendo 64, and I set it up right in front of the TV and watched him play Super Mario 64. It was like the best Christmas ever. So that's definitely mine.
Probably when I got my Game Boy Color, honestly.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, I have other gifts that come to mind, but that's one I got a lot of enjoyment out of. I remember, when I got that, I don't know how old I was. Whenever the hell Pokemon came out, within a year of that being released is when I got it. Because I played the shit out of it.
Oh, yeah.
And played a lot of games on that. I played it so much for so many years in so many car rides, on so many couches, that eventually, I want to say I was actually in the car with my dad playing this one, damn, I wish I could remember the name, but this really... a good Dragon Ball Z. It was kind of like a card game, but like you would play cards and like you'd fight and shit. I don't know. It was cool.
Oh, I know that game.
But yeah, I was playing that. I kind of vividly remember this. Weirdly enough, it dying on me on a car ride to somewhere. I don't know where, but I remember that instance. And God, I had that thing for years. So I guess that just kind of stuck with me. I guess just the longevity of it.
My Nana, who's my grandmother on my dad's side, I think for my 14th birthday, just gave me $500.
Damn.
Whoa.
Shit. That's my new favorite present for you.
I'll take one of those this year, sure.
Yeah, for real. I'll take that now. Shit.
Yeah, my Nana was awesome around Christmas because before that, like, she'd kind of show up every year with just like a rucksack full of shit, and like maybe one or two gifts. You're like, this is okay, but like one year I reached in there and just got, the fucking box set for the Star Wars Special Edition, all three. Because she's just on point with her gifts and she doesn't care about spending money.
Yeah. See, I got that for my birthday, and that's my best birthday gift memory, that Star Wars, the Special Edition, right?
Yeah, but I think, and just so once we all became of age, like, for where gifts were like, yeah, you can get them or not, doesn't really matter. She started giving us cash. It was awesome.
I'm gonna. Geez, we had a lot of good Christmases, but I think the one that for whatever reason it stands out in my mind a lot. I had gotten like 6 or 7 like alien figures, like again like the Rhino alien, the Snake alien, and like Ripley and the fucking Power Loader and the Hive place. I got a bunch of them. Like that was like my Christmas thing that like I got a bunch from that year. I really remember that like vividly, and like playing with them like by the tree and stuff. And that's pretty much it. I mean, of course, when we got a Nintendo 64, that was cool, and PlayStation and stuff, but like
sure.
I always loved my action figures. I always loved taking them and like making little scenes with them and stuff. And like I remember I had the Daily Bugle for the Spider-Man animated series, and like that was one of those things where I had to have all of those. So I would like turn off all the lights and then like put like my desk lamp on and like turn a fan on and like put a plant in front of it and do like a spotlight on the Daily Bugle, and like fucking Green Goblin was coming and like taking Mary Jane or whatever, like Spider-Man was like fighting Venom like on the top or whatever. I always love doing that. So, I mean, I guess that says a lot about what I like to do. Yeah, sure.
Pretty much sounds like our house now.
Yeah,
I think so.
it does. I'm doing that at least every other week, right? Playing with my toys.
I could picture Harry and Marv right now. I know they're set up somewhere.
Hanging up in our living room, flying across the living room.
Yeah.
Every Christmas.
McAllister's there somewhere with those fucking shears.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's got his bicycle handles.
He's flying across the top.
Hello, kid. Kevin, Vera, Kevin.
Meanwhile, Billy from Silent Night, Deadly Night is just waiting for them to drop with his axe.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody thinks this is a joke. This is literally a diorama in our living room at, at this moment.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I was to say, is the Green Goblin chasing all of them too? Your house sounds like the MDU on stage.
It pretty much is at all times.
Basically.
Going on to our next question from Leonardo.
Oh boy.
Connor's already worried. You should be. He says, Thanksgiving/Christmas dinners usually have a turkey as a main course, usually with stuffing. What fictional creepy crawly are you stuffing Clint Howard with this week?
Why are you guys so mean to poor Clint Howard? What did he do?
Leonardo's got a fetish, I think.
I can't believe the lengths he is now going to get one of these questions in every week.
Hey, he's a patron. He can ask the question.
Everybody's picture. Yeah, he pays the money, right? Is everybody else picturing Clint Howard like face down, ass up on a table with somebody with a bowl of whatever getting ready to stuff it in his ass?
No. Well, I certainly am now.
I'm just picturing him in ticks on the ground about to be attacked by whatever insect it is this week. But that works too. He does give a suggestion. He says, I choose the venomous Kuhan worms that are used in the assassination attempt on Padme Amidala in episode 2. That's pretty good.
Does Anakin swing in and like saber them in half?
Yes.
Before they get in there? Oh, Annie, help me, Annie.
If you saw Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, The Initiation, pretty much that's what happens.
Oh, man. Fictional bug, huh?
Well, creepy crawly.
Yeah.
So that kind of covers a lot. Someone just grabs a handful of chest bursters and just shoves them in there.
Oh, jeez. I'm infested.
God.
Or the little what's that tiny little xenomorph from Covenant that comes out and he's like, Papa!
The neomorph or whatever?
Oh, God.
Yeah, whatever, that thing. A bunch of those.
Question mark? Who could give a shit?
I'm just picturing a bunch of aliens coming out like those wooden soldiers with the different Clint heads.
Oh, my God.
Like different hairstyles and shit.
They all have different hair.
Get over here, Ripley.
One of them has a tail that's just a broadsword.
Yeah, exactly. Floats towards you and just fucking eviscerates you.
It's fucking terrifying.
A Clint Howard head comes out of the fucking tip of the sword.
Well, I thought that was the second jaw. It's a small Clint Howard head.
It's a smaller Clint Howard head that comes in
And bites you.
How you doing?
This is my little mouth.
I didn't want to do this.
Okay.
Push it through your skull. Eat your brain.
What if we fill him with David Cronenberg's the Shivers TM? Maybe, yeah, we'll fill him full of those things.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Sure. What if instead of like bugs, we just take Elmer from Brain Damage and just latch that onto his neck and see what happens?
Oh, man. Could you imagine the trip that he goes on when Elmer fucking sticks him with the juice?
What if you took little weird, creepy, crawly, parasitic, fetal Jason Voorhees from Jason Goes to Hell and just stuffs him in there? Does Clint Howard then become Jason Voorhees?
Oh, God.
It's reborn inside of him, though. So he comes out as a reborn Jason, but he looks like Clint Howard?
Yeah, it's just a hockey mask over. There's all this red hair.
Is that how he teleports? He's really just separating into ticks and just traveling across the ground really fast?
Man, sign me up for that.
Counselors. All right.
Oh, Mom. Okay.
Yeah, kill my mom.
God, imagine that his mask gets knocked off by fucking Corey Feldman and you see Clint Howard's face under there.
Oh, I got a machete in my head. Oh, no.
Oh, man. And he, like, slides down it, but he's not dead.
But thank you for that mind-numbing question, Leonardo. We're sure Clint appreciates it. At least it wasn't his brother this time getting thrown in with the rats.
If he ever listens to this show, he's gonna be so confused. He'd be like, "Do these people hate me? I don't know what they."
If we get Clint or Daniel, take your pick. Either one listen, and I'm happy either way, Connor.
Daniel might show up at my house and beat me to death, though.
He might have to leave La Paz just to take you out.
I wake up in La Paz, like, oh no.
He's just sitting there with a fucking knife or a gun.
Just like tapping his fingers on the table.
Oh, God. Our next question comes from Nicholas Walters. He says, my question is, if you guys caught Santa either individually or together as some sort of weird espionage group out to get Santa, I don't know, the specifics, so roll with me, and he offered you one thing in return for his release, what would you guys ask for? And don't forget, he is Santa, so he has magic, so anything is possible.
Oh, so we got like leprechaun rules, huh? With Santa Claus? You catch him, he grants you a wish?
Well, but he's nice, so he ain't gonna fuck you over.
Yeah, well,
He's not gonna drop a pot of gold in your gut.
Shouldn't be so greedy.
He's not gonna monkey's paw you.
I mean, unless you're talking to Santa Goldberg, but then that's your fault.
Do you want my honest answer?
Yeah.
Just to be comfortable.
Sure.
And not stress the fuck out. Like, I don't even need to be, like, super disgusting rich.
Joey, that was mine too. I was like, a fucking vacation would be wonderful.
But yeah, the problem is you can't ignore all the social anxiety and like all that going on right now, especially in this year. So I feel like everyone's gut reaction is like some fucking stability and to not have to worry about anything else ever again.
Some goddamn peace in this life.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's not my answer. I already thought about this. Well, I have two answers to this because these are the two superpowers that I believe are the most OP for me personally. First answer. Okay, Santa, first you gotta give me the ability to freeze time with the caveat that anything I'm touching, I have control over whether it's frozen or not, and also I can breathe, so let's just get that bullshit out of the way.
Oh, and you don't age, right?
We'd be able to record these episodes fucking, on the day they come out. I edit it right then and there. No big deal. There you go.
Okay, I see where you're going. All right.
I walk into the bank. I take all the money out. Nobody knows I was there. I don't know. Something like that.
Okay.
Second idea, teleportation with the caveat that if I go into a wall, I just get bounced back. I don't get just stuck in a wall and fucking die. That's my answer. One of those two options. I'm not. If I ever meet Santa and I get the fucking option, I guess I'll have to gun to my head and make a decision. But as of right now, those are my two magically infused answers.
I love that you went straight for like superpowers because I was like magical, so I could have anything I could want in the whole world. And the first thing that came to my mind was I'd love to have a beer with Stone Cold and watch a bunch of old Attitude Era matches. That's what I wrote down.
That's amazing.
That's a good one.
I mean, truly. Could it be more wonderful?
You could do that now. Just pull the cardboard cutout up and throw the matches on.
That is true.
Just behind him, put on one of his podcasts, and then just, put some matches on the TV. Doesn't matter if he calls you Undertaker. It's fine.
How you doing, Julie? How you doing?
Stone Cold did tweet at me twice in my life. Two best tweets of my whole entire life.
Oh, man.
One, I think it was, I'm trying to remember when I went.
Get those printed out. Put them in a frame.
Listen, it was within a 4-day span. And I was going to WrestleMania in, I think it was 2011. And I did this big handmade painted sign on foam, and it was, his logo and the skull and all this, and I was so excited for WrestleMania, and he was like, awesome, Julie. And I was like, oh my fucking God, I'm gonna die.
I mean, if you didn't explode when what's his face?
I did. I fucking did. And that year was the same year that he came back and hosted my favorite show of all time, Tough Enough. And I tweeted, so excited for Tough Enough to come back. Favorite wrestler, favorite show. This is great. And he's like, enjoy, Julie. And I was like, my friend tweeted me. She's like, Stone Cold is in love with you. I'm like, I know. It's the best.
I was going to say, if you can survive Jeff Goldblum playing the flute at you, then I think you can sustain 2 Stone Cold tweets.
Oh, well, Connor, you saw my picture with Jeff Goldblum. I nearly my face is redder than a fucking tomato. Joey knows. He saw me almost explode.
It was the most bizarre thing because we're like, oh, can we get a picture? He's like, yeah, of course, come on. And he like puts his arm around her, and he's just like, it was the most bizarre. He's like posing, and he's like, like exactly what you think he would do.
Literally in my ear, like, oh, it was the best.
I'm surprised you didn't just like explode into like 5 beams of light. Like that's it. Like you've ascended.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I did and just somehow came back together. But because that happened, Stone Cold is my number 1 wish this year. So that's that.
A sip of eggnog for the working man.
Exactly, Sean.
I mean, if I had to go with something fantastical, just give me the Speed Force. I'll be happy.
Sure.
There you go.
Just let me have it.
Let you actually have it.
Yeah, I won't do anything bad, but I swear I will not time travel. Not a promise.
I wish I could just do what I love for a living.
Joey.
I'm a simple man. I got simple requests.
Sure. But I'll go with the whole freeze time and then do whatever the fuck I want, and then I'll be okay.
I think that's a pretty good one.
Our last question comes in from Dustin Elkins, and he says, is this the movie with Whoopi Bill Goldberg in it?
What?
Is that the question?
He has more, but I just wanted to pause on that for a moment.
We'll get to it, because I have a through line with that one, too.
He says, anywho, if you were to pitch a remake of any movie, but as a zombie movie, what would it be? Well, my gut reaction, before I give like an actual real reaction, I'll let everyone else answer first, is we've talked about it a little bit already previously on the show, but that Medea Halloween movie.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, put some actual zombies in it.
Right. That would have been a bit... Anyway, don't want to beat that dead horse, but that's one of my initial reactions to seeing that.
Home Alone, but it's Marv and Harry who keep coming back from the dead, and Kevin has to just like stave them off for several hours.
Okay.
I like that idea, but when you initially said that, I was thinking the movie plays as is, but like halfway through like the last act, they start hearing like zombies and shit outside, and then they got to band together with Kevin and with his trap making skills to defend the house.
Oh my God.
Kevin's giving them tips on how to defend a home.
Yeah, right before Joe Pesci goes to bite his fingers off, instead of Southbound Shovel Slayer coming in, like a zombie breaks through the window.
Yeah, right.
That's where it picks up, yeah.
Yeah, because they eventually, of course, get eaten.
Yeah.
Or bit, rather. And then, of course, the big thing is same ending of the original, but instead of Kevin McAllister, like, in the robe, waiting for his parents to reappear, he's, like, all beaten up and battered and barely can stand. Mom comes in, the house is a fucking wreck. There's all these dead bodies all over the place.
Marv is just ahead, but he's still screaming.
Tarantula crawling all over it.
It still ends with Buzz screaming, "What did you do to my room?"
That's all he cares about.
And then you hear the Marv head bite him.
I was going to say Jaws, but we already got that movie.
Yeah, and let's not do it again.
Yeah. We got it a few times. I think we got Zombie Jaws. We got Ghost Shark.
Now we got Santa Jaws.
Yeah, Pissy was telling us about it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Eat, pray, love.
Literally.
Julia.
Oh, man. Except the Julia parts, which are the best part of that movie.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That needs to be recut.
She's untouched. Just Meryl Streep like doing what she does and everything. The horror happens elsewhere.
Leave her and Stanley Tucci alone, please.
Yeah, in the other movie that's happening.
The zombies can eat the fucking blogger. That's fine.
Yeah, it cuts back, and it's just like, it's her reading Julia Child's book and like trying to cook it during a zombie outbreak, and we just keep cutting back to Meryl Streep and Stanley Tucci doing their thing.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, back and forth, yeah, maybe. Better movie than what we got.
Very true.
Space Jam. So the Toons, they take Michael Jordan through that golf hole because they need his help in the basketball game, but while he's gone, there's an outbreak. And the whole world gets taken out. Wayne Knight barely makes it in that divot in time to not get turned into a zombie. So he's like the last vestige. Him and Michael Jordan, the last vestiges of mankind that can stop this outbreak.
They have to repopulate the Earth.
Well, I guess with the way I phrased that, I suppose so. They gotta fuck Lola.
Oh my God.
But that's not really what I meant. I'm just saying there's a lot of zombies, and then Michael Jordan comes in, Wayne Knight comes in, Granny, Bugs, Taz, the whole crew, Daffy Duck's there, and they, they're Toons. They, I don't know if they can get turned into zombies. Maybe that's the sequel, possibly. Maybe that's the cliffhanger at the end. Daffy got bit and he didn't tell anybody. He'd be the one. Elmer's getting eaten alive. I don't care if he gets turned into a zombie or not. He's got to go.
Does he still have the stutter when he's a zombie?
He stutters his groans.
Yeah, I don't know. Now I need the sequel to that. The zombie version's the first one. You take out all the basketball players, turn Patrick Ewing into a zombie.
Weekend at Bernie's. I am so fucking zombie. Like, we don't need anything more zombies for like another 40 years.
I'm just not into zombies. I don't know.
Currently, the only two zombie movies I'm okay with just like letting into the zeitgeist are Train to Busan and Train to Busan Peninsula, because those movies fucking rule.
Sure. I want voodoo zombies again. That's what I want.
I mean, I would be into that if it was done right, but I feel like most likely it'll just end up being racist or culturally appropriated. But if it's not, sure, why not? Fuck it.
If you do it right, then yeah, sure. It's just, let's go watch COVID Zombies or whatever with Kevin Nash. Oh, I can't wait to fucking see that shit.
COVID-19 invasion, excuse me.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, God.
And with that, Dustin, with Kevin Nash being invoked, I think that's Patreon questions, yeah.
In the name of Kevin Nash. That's the...
Careful, someone will tear a quad.
Yeah, I know. It's either going to be one of us or Vince. And, of course, you can always sign up for the $2 tier, like I was talking about earlier, and get access to those posts. $5 tier, and you can also get those commentary tracks with that tier. The Legend of Gatorface we put out last month. We have the book to the movie with C.B. Smith, Frankenstein Unbound, talking about the differences between the book and the movie, if you want to check that out. And Franken-Turkey, we got that on there too. We got a whole lot of stuff on there from November, and we got some more coming in 2021, but if you want to hear all that, sign up for the $5 tier, and you also get a sticker pack. And if you want to go all in, go the $10 tier, become one of the Wizard's house elves with Dobby. And you get a Movie Dumpster t-shirt, you get an enamel pin that glows in the dark, the sticker pack, everything else. And am I missing anything?
No, you get access to all that stuff. The commentary tracks, the mini-sodes, all that good stuff, man.
So just head over to patreon.com/movie dumpster.
So without further ado, let's talk about... Call Me Claus.
Connor's new favorite movie.
I don't think I'll ever call her Claus. What do you think? I don't know.
I want to pour scalding hot water all over myself.
I'll call her Lucy or Whoopie.
She doesn't want to be called Claus for a majority of this movie.
No, she doesn't.
That's my biggest problem with this piece of shit. It's like the last 10 minutes, all of a sudden, she's all about it.
Question mark, because like...
Maybe 15.
This movie is like the Santa Claus and Scrooged.
Yes.
Mixed in a blender, but like written really terribly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there's no moral. There's an attempt at one, but there really isn't one, because a bad person is rewarded for being bad and then only decides to do something good upon the gift of eternal youth, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly, with immortality.
Yeah.
It's also the thing where like there are good messages in this film, but none of them come from Whoopi Goldberg at all. They're all from the dude playing Santa Claus.
Who's a great Santa, by the way.
Agreed. He is the best part of this movie for me.
Sure. So we open up in Los Angeles, 1965, where we're introduced to Lucy Cullens and her mother and her brother. And apparently her father's off at the Vietnam War. Her mother tells her that, she's got a big surprise for her. We're going to go down to the Five and Dime store. And she's like, my dad? She's like, nope, not your dad. He didn't come back yet. But we're going to go see Santa Claus. And she's like, wow, that's like amazing. I cannot wait.
But will Dad be there?
No.
Before we really get into this, Joe, I don't mean to cut you off. Julie, would you mind giving us just a brief plot crunch of this film that you brought to us on this Christmas platter?
Listen, first, may I say, it was a choice between this and A Diva's Christmas Carol, which was a made-for-TV, I think for VH1, where Vanessa Williams plays Ebony Scrooge, a diva singer, and I think Chili from TLC plays Marley Jacobs, a.k.a. Jacob Marley. So,
okay,
before you get on me about this movie, it could have been that. But then again, I might just bring that back next year. So,
I was going to say, next year or the year after, that might have to happen anyway.
I got them all in my pocket. Listen, I got the shit movies all lined up. Sure. So, this movie. All right. Well, basically, Santa has a 200-year contract that's up. So he's got to find a new Santa to replace him. And he has until midnight on Christmas Eve to do that. And we're looking at Whoopi as our Santa replacement, who is a producer at a home shopping network. And if we don't get her to be the new Santa, basically there's going to be a great flood and the world's going to end. So pretty much the moral of this story is the answer to global warming is Whoopi Goldberg. You're welcome.
Yeah. The only way to save the Titanic, too, is to get Whoopi this fucking hat.
I mean...
Yeah, and even that won't save it.
No, it gets taken out before she puts it on. Half the world's destroyed. We already talked about it.
T-Day, it's a whole thing.
Thank God she's in L.A. because that was somehow saved, I suppose, by Christmas magic.
Oh, the magic of the Elfenhooten.
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
Yeah.
Even they wanted nothing to do with this.
Like Joe was setting up, little Whoopi, Lucy, is going to see Santa Claus, and we quickly find out that this is not just some random-ass mall Santa. Much like the Christmas that almost wasn't, it is literally Santa, the man himself.
I'm not sure why he's there. Out of all the places to go and all the places to be...
Happenstance, I guess?
Happenstance, he's there? I was under the impression that Santa did not do this. He employed other people to go to the malls and things and get requests from the children. And plus, Santa is also all-knowing. So why is he in Los Angeles?
Because he wanted to stretch his legs. I'll take over the mall circuit today. It's fine.
Is this like God playing skee ball?
He likes the warm weather. He's a West Coast kind of guy.
I guess so. He's got those fucking Aloha shorts, but he's got his Santa hat still on, right?
He's like that guy who retires but can't stop working.
Wow, that's gonna line up a lot later. He's also like, I mean, it comes up more so later in the film, but he's also like, it's implied he's Norwegian.
Sort of. He has a Norwegian wife. Anyway, he is Father Christmas in every way, shape, and form. Sinterklaas.
Right, exactly. Because I guess this would put him, this is 2001? Right at the beginning of the 1800s is where he would have gotten the job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's signed with the Pepsi company, I'm pretty sure, that year. Right? Or Coca-Cola, excuse me.
Yeah, there you go. He's exclusive.
How dare you invoke Pepsi's name?
That's why we can't get that deal, because I keep fucking up the Pepsi and Coke thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Joey just wants Crystal Pepsi. That's all he wants.
Yeah, sign me up.
You an 80s robot.
But he's laying on his genuine Santa charm. He's asking her what she wants for Christmas, and she kind of rambles off a list. But then she's like, and then I want my daddy to come home. And he's like, stutters, and in his fucking personal tormentor, Ralph.
AKA Satan.
Who might be an elf? He might be some kind of demon?
Hey, it's a pituitary gland problem.
Or he's like an extra-dimensional being who just feeds off of Santa's stress.
That's what I think.
He leans in and goes, Santa can do anything. Isn't that right?
Even bring your daddy back from Vietnam.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, fucking Saint Nick's like, what? No.
Yeah, he's like, what, you stop it!
He's like, what the fuck? Don't promise her that. Are you crazy?
Wink.
And then little Lucy's like, yeah, you see that booger-eating kid over there? He bet me 2 chocolate bars or some bullshit that you wouldn't let me wear your hat, and if you let me, he'll give me that stuff. And Santa's like, well, we can't let you lose a bet. He puts it on her head, and I didn't know this was gonna be like a major fucking plot point, but it is. He puts the hat on her head and it glows, and
this shit is radioactive. I don't know how no one is reacting to this. It's like insane.
It's like that thing where they don't ever say this, but I guess they just want you to kind of figure it out if I'm even gonna throw them this bone.
It's pretty obvious that they're like, okay, the movie's called Call Me Claus, and Whoopi Goldberg is supposed to become Santa Claus, and here we have this little girl.
Well, right. My point is, I think it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it glowed, but only Santa and the elf could tell it glowed. Nobody else could.
Because nobody else believes in Christmas.
They're the only ones who could see the ethereal Christmas glow.
Nobody says anything. Mom doesn't say anything. None of the other workers say anything.
Yeah, no one says shit.
It absorbs all the lights in the building. Like, it becomes the sole light source.
Well, they're all on LSD is what's happening.
Or MDU. It's one or the other.
Oh, God.
So they put the hat on, and, like, Ralph freaks out because he's like, oh, my God, she's the chosen one. She's like, I'm going to put her name down in this fucking book.
She's one of the potential chosen ones, at least.
Yes.
Santa's like, bring her dad back. What is wrong with you?
Once it's said, I must do it.
Wait, I'm not God. I'm Santa. So she's like, yeah, okay, well, thanks. Now I get my chocolate bars or whatever. I'm going home. Bye.
You want candy from that disgusting booger kid? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want any candy from that kid.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she gets her Christmas wish, though, because, the same guys who notified Andy's parents that he was dead go to Whoopi Goldberg's house.
Well, it sure as fuck wasn't the guy from Uncle Sam who's trying to lay pipe.
He's coming home in a casket for Christmas.
And Mom turns to little Lucy and goes, "Welp, I guess you got your wish. Dad is gonna be home for Christmas."
Yeah, she did.
So messed up.
It's fucked up.
Who says that to their kid?
I don't know.
What is that line from The Ghost in the Darkness where Tom Wilkinson's like asking for his Irish hand and Samuel goes like, "Here he comes now," and there's a giant fucking wooden coffin just being carried around.
Meanwhile, Andy's like hitching a ride across the Midwest.
Yep.
We basically leave that scene, that really sad scene, honestly, to 2001.
Here we are, Whoopi Goldberg. She is a big shot producer for the Shop-A-Lot home shopping network.
Yes, not QVC. Get that right.
This is the only like piece of entertainment I've ever seen that thinks that like, I don't know, it elevates the idea of a home shopping network being this like fucking Hollywood style production.
You're trying to be Scrooged, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hard fucking core.
That's like a television programming station that makes like, you know, you might as well have been an executive producer for like TNT in this movie, not the fucking home shopping network, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a big budget set right there. Like,
They treat it like this big giant production.
But I wonder if they didn't do that, if they made it like the Shopify network because of the plot that we're going to get to, but also because it's like, if they do make it literally TNT, then it's like 1-for-1 Scrooge, where here it's like, you ripped it off, but it's not a literal 1-for-1. It's damn close.
NTN. Yeah.
Yeah. Because obviously Scrooge, it's the whole, Christmas Carol, thing. But, that's what I was thinking of the whole time. Christmas, Scrooge, and the Santa Claus with Tim Allen were the ones I kept thinking of the whole movie.
yeah.
Yep, and that's what it's doing. It's cribbing off both of them.
Yeah, and remove all of the effort.
Yeah, with a lower budget and just basically take Tim Allen out and put Whoopi in there. Clearly an improvement, but is it enough?
So we go in and Whoopi's producing this. They're doing like a home shopping network Christmas version, but they're accommodating all the religions, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna exploit them all. Fuck them. Happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, happy fucking Christmas.
Says Victor Garber of Titanic.
Yeah, so weird.
And DC's Legend of Tomorrow, where he was one half of Firestorm.
Listen, Victor Garber is a gem.
He is.
Truly.
He's fine in this. I also want to comment on the way that they're transitioning from like Hanukkah to Christmas. They literally have this fucking crane lift the Christmas tree up and drop this big ass menorah, and they have like this placard in the back that says Christmas. What does it say?
Christmas Corner.
Christmas Corner. Thank you.
Both with a K.
This is in the Mortal Kombat universe. Okay.
Yes.
Oh no, Shao Kahn's there selling shit?
He could be. I think it's supposed to be like a Kris Kringle thing, though, is the pun.
I think it's just alliteration.
I couldn't believe they're literally fucking airdropping a tree and a fucking menorah in.
By the push of a button, too.
Yeah.
Fully automated.
How many people got hit with that fucking menorah?
Yeah, oh my God.
Somebody gets squished by a giant menorah.
One other very minor character I want to mention here, because she comes back in a big way towards the end of the film, is this gopher that works on the set. Weirdly enough, I have a through line here. I think this is GVD's gopher. She's on loan. She's working for them for the holidays.
You think so?
Because by the end of this film, she's got some serious GVD qualities about her.
Well, yeah, she's looking to fuck for sure.
It's just GVD's skin suit. She wants to go out in public.
Oh my God.
She does it real sly-like, yeah.
She wouldn't put herself through all this trouble of getting Whoopi Goldberg's latte, but she's got people that work for her that would. But, if you work for GVD, she rubs off on you, is what I'm trying to say.
She wants to role play as a normie.
Maybe.
Vanilla latte, why don't you go fuck yourself?
Tell me what to do.
I'll tell you what.
I could go with either way. It could be GVD, it could be her personal gopher. Both are funny to me either way.
So the whole point of this is Christmas Corner. So they have different hosts for each of these shopping channel portions of this show. So they need a Santa Claus, right?
And they're interviewing for it the day they need it. Like the day before.
Well, they're getting ready to go in production. It's a 4-week shoot. And the movie lets us know this by a very long montage later.
But it's all live, by the way.
Oh yeah. But it's 4 weeks of this.
It's not like pre-recorded or anything.
No.
That's going to come up a lot.
So they're casting Santas, and we are parading these motherfuckers in this door. And the first guy to be interviewed is fucking Robert Costanzo. And he's talking some shit like, yeah, so me and the missus was bumping uglies at the North Pole, right? And I forgot my spray flock snow, right? So I goes and I grabs it and I sprays it and I say, you know what? I finally got some of that snow. And they're like, get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about?
He is Mickey Rooney drunk.
Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, I shoot that spray all over the place.
That guy's character on IMDb is literally Teamster. That's what they put. Like, Teamster Santa. It's just like fucking, yeah, this dude's gross.
Yeah, because I need the voice of Bullock from fucking Batman.
Right.
Talking about fucking Mrs. Claus.
This begins a trend in this movie where I started questioning who the fuck this movie was made for, because it has oddly adult-centered jokes, but the whole thing is like a plot for a kid's movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, because next we get fucking Bruce Valanche just comes in.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anyone was missing Bruce Valanche, here he is.
They don't even give him a chance. They see him walk in, he barely says a line, they're like, next.
Yeah.
This movie is... Oh, it's that guy, the movie.
Pretty much.
Yeah, tour was available that day.
Well, we get a bunch of them in a row.
Yeah, then we have like a hot lady Santa come in, and the guy Taylor's like, yeah, look at them fucking Santa tits. That's perfect.
Hey, yabos.
And Whoopi Goldberg's like, next.
I thought it was Trish Stratus for like a hot second. I had to rewind it.
How dare you?
Wow, that would be, especially in 2001, that would be slumming it.
I know.
She would be missing her pink cowboy hat.
True.
God, she was making so much fucking money this year. Of course, though, the final Santa that came in made me glow with joy for about, a minute, because it's all, I think it's even less than that, as fucking Richard Mole is the final Santa Claus.
He strolls in. You think Mestima visits Earth every year, every Christmas to try to get a job as a Santa?
I think he's just fucking around.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Yeah.
But he's like being like a Kafka Santa. He's like, I'm Santa Claus or some shit.
I call it Kafka Claus.
Yeah.
He's doing this big Shakespearean routine, and Whoopi Goldberg is just shitting all over it. And I'm just watching this I don't need this. I'm the devil. I can just leave.
Fuck you, Kafka Claus.
I could ruin your whole life if I wanted to.
Where's Excalibrate?
And he gets all upset, and he's getting into it with Whoopi Goldberg, and they're arguing.
Oh yeah, she's like, get the fuck out of here. And he's like, but you don't understand me. I was off Broadway.
She's gonna fight him or something, though.
She gets so pissed.
It's just not a role that I'm used to seeing Richard Mole in at all. It's such a bit part, but it just is oh my God, he's making every second count.
Yeah. Then we get an Elvis Santa and some other bullshit.
And then we get the real one walking down the street. I think this is the same outfit that he wore in Ernest Saves Christmas.
I'm almost positive. So,
very similar.
He's fucking down on his luck again. Wouldn't you know it?
Because he's a big fuck up.
We went from Christmas that almost wasn't to the Christmas that will kill us all is this one.
I think it's canonically the same Santa. He's just fucking tired.
Yeah.
It's a different timeline.
He had to live through Sam Whipple at some point in his life. That took a lot off of him.
That's why he's an expert at this mall Santa shit by now.
Oh, he finally got his shit together, though, right? Yeah.
Figured out how to ho. He's hoeing.
Oh, he's ho for showing.
Ho for showing, yeah. One Ho Productions, TM.
Santa's walking down the street, and it's the same one from the beginning. We kind of already went into that. It's the real Santa. And he's wearing his nice, tan and brown suit with the, three-piece suit. He's looking sharp with his wool hat that's hanging off the top of his fucking head. And he has that elf, Ralph, the Will Ferrell ripoff. I'm walking around, teleporting around him, saying, Santa, you're running out of time. The world's about to end. You better seal the fucking deal.
The first thing he says to him, he's like, hey, Santa, got a North Pole sausage for you with your name on it.
Yeah, he's got a hot dog.
And Taylor Negron, by the way.
He's like fucking Q from Star Trek. He just shows up. He's like, I'm gonna cause trouble.
What do you think, Picard? Can you save them in time or not?
He doesn't do anything productive. He taunts everybody and has no stake in anything. I'm like, you barely exist. You're just popping in and out of reality. You don't give a shit if the world floods.
I hate this character. He is annoying as fuck.
He's fucking annoying.
I really appreciated every time Whoopi just basically intentionally said his name wrong throughout the film. That was one of the better bits in the movie.
But names that aren't even names. I don't even know what she says.
Yeah, Rafiki and Rashiki and shit she's calling him, and Ravioli.
Yeah, basically, she might as well call him Ravioli.
She's like, let's go rhubarb.
Yeah, what is that about?
It's not even a hard name. It's just Ralph. She's just fucking with him because she doesn't like him.
I mean, who does?
Rikishi.
She's like, supernatural entity, big deal. I'm a producer.
Yeah, fuck you. So Santa's elves are having an intervention with Santa Claus because he's slacked off for the past 200 years on figuring out who's going to be the next Santa when his time is up.
What a fucking contrivance this whole thing is.
And the world is ending. Bruce Davison is on a helicopter watching fucking the polar ice caps melt while this asshole is farting around.
Oh, yeah, the or else clause is coming.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't they call it the Waterworld Protocol or something?
Yes! Straight up.
God damn it.
It's we know it as T-Day. In this, it's the or else clause.
It is a strange moment in this kind of movie where someone suddenly shifts this what's at stake and the scale to literal apocalyptic, like on a dime. Someone's like, oh, didn't you forget about the world coming to an end, Santa Claus?
Remember that caveat?
You remember that time in the Bible when this got fucked up and there was an ark, but now we're not going to have an ark?
Get it? Because the world's going to flood and we're all going to die. Way to go.
Except me, Ralph. I live beyond time and space.
We live in a castle at the North Pole.
Or a little fucking wooden house.
Yeah. We get all our elves around the table, and Ed Gale is here to read us the fucking fine print of this contract. Howard the Duck himself.
Oh my god.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Do you think his dick is corkscrew shaped also?
Oh, my God.
It's possible, man.
I don't want to know.
John Hurt turned him into a person for Christmas.
He's like, we know you were originally an actor, but then you played a duck and we turned you from the duck to the person.
Yeah.
The science doesn't add up, but I did it. I don't know. This is John Hurt now.
Well, in the MDU, he's Howard, but, John Hurt gave him the day off as a duck, turned him back into a person so he can go make it with Leah Thompson? Maybe.
What is this, a fucked up Casper?
Oh, God.
He turns back into a duck at midnight, the stroke of midnight.
Mid-fuck, and then he just tears up her whole vagina?
Oh, my goodness.
What is this, 7?
Jesus Christ.
He fucking uncorks that shit, man. Julie and I were talking about this before. If there ever was a Christmas MDU movie, it's this, because there's so many fucking ties. It's ridiculous.
It's chock full.
Never have we had one since fucking Elves.
So yeah, every 200 years a new Santa has to be recruited, or else the end. It's the end of the world. The polar ice caps melt, floods the whole fucking world, and everybody drowns and dies, and that's it. And fucking Santa pulls out this list. He's like, I tried everybody on the list, and Ralph's like, there's one more. And he's like, oh God, I don't want to ask her. I've been putting it off for 200 fucking years. Oh, well, since 1965 anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, for 37 years.
That sounds like a you problem, Santa.
After all, were all those other people dead? Or did they just say no to Santa? They were like, no, I don't want to be Santa.
Right.
It'd be way funny if they were all dead because they just fucked around for too long. And they're all mortals.
Put him on the list. Oh, he's dead.
One of these could really do with those 200 years of extra life.
She's the last person that can be Santa Claus.
And she's the last person who should be Santa Claus.
Well, sure. It's kind of shitty, though, that you're, trying to make it like she's the one to be Santa, but she's literally the last motherfucker on the list. Like, you couldn't have a few, like, bum, fake names below her just to make it not seem like she was the last option.
Tim Allen's right underneath it.
Well, Whoopi or bust.
Donald Trump a few names down. Like,
Oh God.
Well, yeah, he becomes Santa by accident. She's actually picked.
what if the Santa Claus that Tim Allen accidentally murdered in that movie was Whoopi Goldberg?
Oh shit.
Was Whoopi Goldberg?
Yeah.
I was going to say, what if it was Trump Santa? Then he'd really be mortified because he well, anyway.
Let's just leave that alone.
Oh, shit.
So then Santa ends up at the TV station. And basically, he's just like walking in. He sees all these Santas getting queued up to get interviewed by Whoopi and her producer. And everyone's like, "Oh, you look great. The beard looks so real." And he's like, "Huh? I guess it does. I'm looking for Lucy."
I like that he talks crazy immediately. Everyone's like, this guy's real name is Saint. He put his name as Saint Nick. He's like, well, just fucking starts talking magical bibble babble, and everyone's like, yeah, great, you're perfect for this.
Yeah.
You're really into this, aren't you? We're all gonna die at midnight on Christmas Eve.
Right. It's like, it's almost like, Ernest Saves Christmas somehow has like a more believable portrayal of this, where when he starts saying this shit, they literally lock him up.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, "All right, old man, we need to take you down to the station and ask you some questions." This one, they're just like, "Okay, he thinks he's Santa. He's kind of into the role. All right."
That's how they skirt that. Exactly. Because he's an actor. He's real good.
Yeah, he's a method actor. He's so good.
He's so good, he doesn't understand what a teleprompter is, or that you don't walk off the fucking set to answer a phone.
This guy is a Daniel Day-Lewis of mall Santas.
So he's like, "All right, Santa, you're great. You want the job?" And he's like, "Oh, sign me up. It beats cleaning the fucking Sam Whipple's toy store. All right."
How that deal ended up, I don't know.
It beats playing with toys that I was supposed to leave under Connor's Christmas tree. He never gets them, but I play with them.
Jumping jingle bells.
Oh, God, help me.
Sam Whipple's dead because I killed him. Anyway.
Oh, no. Sorry about that, Connor.
I don't know if we've talked about this character yet, but this boss of Whoopi Goldberg's,
Oh, he's horrendous.
Cameron. Yeah.
Mr. Villain.
Yeah, basically.
This guy walks in and immediately takes the cadence of someone who wants to take over the world.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yes, I'm twirling my mustache.
He's like, "Oh, well, hello, everyone. I am your deep voice boss who may have global domination aspirations."
He literally talks like Barnaby or some shit.
he kind of does.
He's like, I'm the greasy executive. Hello.
Yeah, he's execu-speak guy, and he's all about ratings, money, and that's really all he is.
We are going to take over Christmas.
Also has the hots for Whoopi Goldberg?
Is it Ted Danson under there?
Listen.
Under that Cameron guy?
It could be.
Do not insult Mr. Danson. He is no Ted Danson. He never will be.
Yeah, this guy's annoying as fuck. He's the one that hires Santa. Whoopi's kind of like hemming and hawing because she's like, "I don't know about this guy. He's being weird." And the boss is like, "Oh, yeah."
Well, yeah, because he's like, "I can't wait to get to know you better." And she's like, "No." What the fuck are you talking about, old man?
Yeah.
How is she a successful producer when all she does is just heap piles of shit onto everything? She hates everything.
That's why.
We were just talking about people who make a lot of money that don't fucking do anything. And this is one of them. Yeah, that's who that is. She's just a shithead that makes a bunch of money. For no reason.
Yeah.
For being an asshole. That's what she gets paid for.
I mean, she's like the producer. She makes sure everything's running smoothly. But you're right. She is an asshole.
She tells people what to do. Is she, though?
Yeah. I mean, later in the movie when shit is happening, she's watching it and making sure it's running smoothly. She's not doing a great job, but she's doing it.
I could watch it and be like, "Oh, that sucks."
Well, they get Santa to do like a dry run.
Yeah, and he's like amazing. And they're like, wow. They're all captivated by his warm cadence and his funny antics. He's like, "Oh, no, what? I read it off the teleprompter? Okay. Oh, but Merry Christmas. You want to buy this? I don't endorse tobacco products, but this is a great lighter for candles or something. It's a sock warmer, Saint Nick. Oh, I warm my boots with it. You're hired.
Yeah, basically, that's all they needed to hear.
You sound nuts. Here's a 401k.
Here's health benefits, PTO.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I will pay you handsomely to bottle that insanity and put it on TV every day.
He didn't even have to wait the 3 months. They just gave it to him.
Nope.
And he's in a penthouse suite.
I know movies, obviously, you don't see everything, and you don't want to see everything because then the movies would be, 8, 9, 10 hours long. But, not that I needed this scene, but clearly, nobody at this fucking station, Shopzilla, whatever the fuck it's called, train this guy at all. I joked about it a few minutes ago, but, like, this guy is so fucking clueless on set. No one walked him through any of this. They were just, like, already tired. I guess he kind of knows what's happening. We're just going to assume he doesn't fuck this up on live TV.
The bar is very low, Sean.
I mean, look at all the other Santas they were interviewing. Everybody else sucked. He's like the best by a long shot. They can't have fucking Yabos or Richard Mole in there. Like, what are they going to do?
He's the only Santa.
I would contest that they could put Richard Mole in there.
It would be a very different program, Connor.
Hello and welcome to Kafka Christmas.
I mean, there'd be one viewer, it'd be me, but, I'd be happy.
Are you going to buy the 12 Days of Christmas tie?
Fuck no, I'm just there for Richard Mole.
You want that little baby Jesus calendar, right? We're introduced to brother Dwayne and his daughter because they're in, it's Whoopi Goldberg's niece.
Right, because Whoopi left them waiting for an hour in her office.
Yeah, Frankie Faison, by the way. I think that's how you say it, Faison.
I think it's Faison.
Faison? Yeah, that sounds like it makes sense. Yeah, he's in Coming to America, Do the Right Thing. Chud, Exterminator 2, Manhunter. He even popped up in one of my favorite TV shows, Monsters, in the Mandrake Route. He was in that episode.
Again, one of those people who's just in everything.
Oh yeah, it's that guy, the movie.
These are just more characters that Whoopi Goldberg can be mean to for a couple minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, her relatives.
She's just like, oh, there's my sweet niece. You ever see Christmas Carol? I love my niece, but I hate my brother.
Yeah, this is like our Tiny Tim character, but with like nothing really sympathetic other than that she's like a cute little girl named Alicia, and she sings at the church, and Whoopi's kind of an asshole about it.
Yeah. And Whoopi's never come to see her sing, basically.
That's basically it.
So the girl's like, hello, I exist. Whoopi's like, that's not enough.
Yeah, pretty much.
She's like a good person. She's like helping people with charity work and shit throughout the movie. And Whoopi's like, I can't be bothered.
She's got no time, dude. She's got to produce.
Mm-hmm.
Did we gloss over a moment at the beginning when Whoopi's like in traffic and someone I think cuts her off? And she almost murders this man.
Yeah. She's like, you see the fucking sign? I park here.
She's like, don't you get out of your car, I'll kill you where you stand. She has this fucking outburst on some other, guy in a car.
I worked here too long to lose that spot.
So she goes in and she's like, oh, hi, niece. I see you once every year. I love you, maybe. I hate your ugly father. Get out of here. You remind me of my dead dad because you got the same name.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Well, she also goes all right, what do you want to get mom? Like, what do you want to get mom? Like, immediately goes off on that side tangent, and her brother's like, yeah, this is what you want to talk about right now? What we're going to get mom? He's like, come on.
Why are you going to work? Why are you going to the job to see her, right? To talk about that.
Because you can't get in touch with her otherwise.
And that's the only way to find her.
I guess you're right. Doesn't she fucking lives there too, we find out.
No, she has an apartment. I think it's close by, though.
Oh, she does?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like the same building.
Yeah, I think like Julie's saying, it might just be close to her offices where, her brother and niece are either live near or the church is near there where they're doing the choir practice.
Fucking live there. Should be like Gollum eventually. Just skulking around going vanilla latte.
Well, if they go to her apartment, she doesn't have to let them in, but when they go to the fucking TV station, they're like, hey, we're Lucy's relatives. Okay, here's her office. She'll be with you soon.
Yeah, pretty much.
So they leave.
Yeah. And so Santa gets the job, and they kind of dress him up, and it's like this big reveal, and Cameron comes, he's like, meet your new Shop-a-Lot Santa! And he comes out, and everybody's like, wow, he looks like Santa Claus, it's so great, oh, he's so great, he's great. Do you know that Santa would have been set up for fucking life after this gig, apparently? Because this guy's like, you're the best, you made us a bunch, well, we'll get into it a little bit later, but he's like, Santa is both trying to recruit someone to fill in for him, but also securing his nest egg at the same time.
Unknowingly, though.
Oh, he knows what he's doing.
I can't just quit until I find out what I'm doing next.
Yeah, I gotta retire to something.
I have to retire so I can work.
Well, there you go. Maybe that was his plan, Joe, but Whoopi's got different plans for him.
She sure does. Oh, I just want to mention real quick, there's a really sweet scene between him and this little boy Jack with Down syndrome.
It's so heartwarming.
So it's that's one of the parts of the film is really, really sweet.
The movie kind of takes a break to do something sincere for a couple minutes.
Yes, exactly.
And because this guy is, I don't know this actor's name, but he's really good. This guy's performance is so convincing, you're like, aww. And then it cuts back, you're like,
Yeah, you're like, wait, am I watching the same movie? I'm pretty sure I just started crying. Okay, let's get back to it. There's Whoopi Goldberg.
Nigel Hawthorne, by the way.
Okay, that sounds familiar.
He's like a big actor. He's done a lot of movies. I looked up at like...
He does the moving pictures.
No, it's just stuff that I'm just like, yeah, great. I mean, he's a great actor, though.
Yeah, because the whole scene is like the boss comes in and he's like, oh, yeah, it's all on me tonight. And everyone like claps and whatever. And it's like, okay, well, what is all on him tonight? And basically just like, you know, a little party before they start the show over the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's like an office party, pretty much.
Yeah, and
they
have like Santa, you know, having people have their kids sit on his lap, and that's where that scene is.
Yeah, they're giving him like presents and stuff.
And he even says Santa always gives everyone a present on Christmas, and it's really touching.
It's so sweet because he's like, I bet you I can guess what you want for Christmas, and he's like, what? And he's like, let me whisper in your ear, and he like tells him, and he's like, wow, that's my Christmas wish or whatever. It's really sweet.
Yeah, and he's like, you are the real Santa. It's so very, very sweet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even after all this happens, like he goes to leave, he's like, well, he doesn't go to leave. He's kind of like waiting for Whoopi. Whoopi goes to leave, I should say.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we have to get back to the stalking plot.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And Whoopi even says to him, like, yeah, you're not getting paid extra to do any of that, but we really appreciate it. That was so nice. And he's like, well... that's just because I'm the real Santa. That's what I do. And she's like, okay, this fucking guy.
Don't you remember me? We played a game, Whoopi. A game with drums. Was that St. Nicholas? No. She's like, don't you remember me?
No, she doesn't recognize him for another 40 minutes.
No, until she puts on her magic hat, she doesn't recognize him.
Until he says some shit like, oh, your dad's dead. Remember that when that happened? You saw me that night?
He brings that up in the scene when she tries to blow him off that he's like too into the Santa Claus act.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, your daddy wouldn't be happy to see you like this. And she gets all offended. Like, who's telling you about my personal life? Like, no one talks about my personal life, and you better learn that fast if you want to keep your job. And she kind of like walks off all kind of pissed off.
I have big problems with their chemistry because this guy is great, and Whoopi Goldberg is like every reaction to anything is either annoyance, sarcasm, or just to be fucking nasty to somebody.
Yeah.
And so she always seems like, but she sticks out, especially when she's being sarcastic, because it seems like she's just goofing off as an actor.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, like ham into the camera.
Like her effort is so minimal
Yeah.
that it comes off the fucking screen.
Oh, phoning it in, yeah.
She just showed up as Whoopi, and that's the best she can do.
Exactly.
You're like, that guy's trying. You are phoning it in harder than I've ever seen anyone phone it in.
I'm Whoopsie.
I'm Whoopsie. Cheese clogs me the fuck up.
I'm Whoopsie.
Doesn't this like roll right into a scene where like Lucy's mother's watching? She's like at home with her niece.
Yeah.
And she's watching the Santa on the television. She's like, huh, that looks a lot like the guy that we saw when my husband died that night. Sure. Remember that flashback in the beginning of the movie? That just looks just like him.
Yeah, Grandma's pretty fucking sharp. She remembers him.
She sure is.
You remember that one mall Santa?
Because we roll right into that next day where he is showing off the tie and he starts going down the list of products.
Yeah, it's like the first airing.
And you're right. And but she goes, maybe I should skip the eggnog or something like that. Or
That's right. Yeah.
Drinking so much eggnog.
I love this so much because he's like, here's a Christmas tie that plays the 12 different Christmas songs. You should buy it for $15.95. Oh, what do we have over here? Oh, look at this. It's negligee.
Yeah, he starts going off on a side tangent.
I don't think they make this in the workshop. Oh, I don't think so. Hey, I wonder if this comes in extra petite small all the way up to a size 22. I'm gonna get this for Mrs. Claus, wink.
Again, who is this for?
Yeah.
He says some shit like, now imagine your husband coming home to see you in this. Isn't that great? It's only $49.95. Real silk.
From Fredericks of Hollywood.
So hard cut to fucking Alice Beasley. I guess this was her job before retired before Rumpelstiltskin, before she got fucking choked to death.
Yeah. This woman keeps popping up lately.
She's taking calls because it's a home shopping network.
She's making calls here. She's also in Initiation, Silent Night, Deadly Night 4. She's in that movie. She's a cult member.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Santa's selling all this shit, and they're, like, making money hand over fist. And they're just like, can you believe this shit?
People are loving him.
You know, this somebody, because, like, somebody asks her if, like, one of the fucking, naughty underwear comes in men's sizes or some shit. So they're, like, selling all this stuff to, like, everybody.
But he kind of blows it here because he gets this, like, gambling Santa.
Oh, here comes lucky number 13.
Well, that's the big surprise gift that the boss put together. This was going to be the big winner.
Cha-ching!
Santa's like, $37. That's pretty expensive for a toy with the likeness of me. You pull the arm down, and then it, like, goes cha-ching, jackpot. And he's like, oh, I will not endorse gambling.
Jackpot. Jackpot.
The chest opens and it's a gambling machine, and like
It's a slot machine, basically.
it gets 3 fucking like Santa heads, and it's like, ho ho ho, you won the jackpot. And he's like, oh, I can't sell this to kids. We're encouraging gambling and smoking and alcoholism.
Agent Dale Cooper's in the audience. He's like, hello.
So Victor Gerber's watching all this, and he's like freaking the fuck out. Because he's like I forget the name of it. It's been forever since I took a TV class in college, but it's like the floor supervisor or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
And he's like freaking out. And we cut to Whoopi like in the control room watching this, and she goes, what the fuck? And she fucking charges out.
He's ad-libbing.
Yeah, she's a meltdown.
Oh yeah, she fires his ass.
Well, doesn't she unload him first for improving? Like he does the whole bit with the clothing, and then I think he does like another anecdote, and she's like, oh no, God, no improvisation on my network. Blah, 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 blah.
She fucking yells at everybody when she comes down. She's like, get this fucking Santa in line.
But then as soon as he starts going off on the gambling thing, they're like, oh, cut to an infomercial, like put up whatever. I don't care what it is. Fucking I think they put up like a fishing thing. I don't even remember.
Yeah,
Bassmasters.
You're right though. And then she comes down and tries to get him to like basically, learn, hey, you can't just read all, you got to read the teleprompter, no ad-libbing. Because she was already complaining that he had been doing that, and then this whole side tangent about the gambling, she's like, oh yeah, you just sell the products, we tell you what to do, we're paying you, you're not in charge here.
Yeah.
And he keeps arguing with her, and she's like, you know what, fuck it, you're fired.
Yeah, it was like the last straw kind of thing. She's like, fuck you, get out of here, Saint Nick.
Richard Mole wouldn't put up with this.
Fucking without skipping a beat, Cameron kicks down the door. He's like, look, oh my goodness, we're doing multi-million-dollar sales on a home shopping network. That Santa Claus is the best Santa Claus. Where is he?
This is literally within 30 seconds. Like, dude gets fired, and they're like, we made $250,000 in 20 minutes. Where is he? It's like, oh, I just fired him.
Whoopi does a whoopsie for sure.
I'm whoopsie.
I have a headcanon that this guy is a crazy billionaire who just like props up this fake fucking production company, and everyone's like, yeah, we work for this company, and he's just like, oh, you're just making shit up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was convinced he was Satan, like just having fun.
That would make Richard Mole's presence really confusing.
Well, he's my underling.
What Earth are you from?
Well, this is the MDU, dude.
Santa Luke Skywalker the fuck out of there. He disappeared. Or Batman, to take your preference. He's gone is the point.
Houdini'd right out of there, yeah.
Yeah, and Whoopi's ass is on the line because it's her fault.
Well, no, it's Taylor's fault.
Right, she sends his ass after. She sends Victor Garber after him. And he's like, well, what the hell? Why do I gotta find the guy now? She's like, that's how it works in television. It's the person above you blames you, and then you gotta fix it. And he's like, oh, okay.
God, I hate her.
Yeah.
It's that weird thing where it's like, I keep going back to Scrooge because it's like Bill Murray, for like, I don't know about most of the film, but definitely like the first half, is a real fucking asshole.
Oh, he's a piece of shit.
The first half.
Yeah.
The entire film. What he does to Elliot Loudermilk?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, like he doesn't even start coming around until like the end of the second act. And even then, like, I mean, by the end he has come around, but like it takes a while. Like Whoopi, she's an asshole, don't get me wrong, especially like the recurring joke of, GVD's gopher or GVD, again, pick your poison on that one, bringing the latte in. She never says thank you, and she's always like, I can't start my fucking day without a latte.
That's the thing, too. She never, like, atolls for any of that shit. It's just like, you're an asshole. You want to be Santa? And she's like, oh, Okay.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I'm not saying she's, like, not an asshole, but she's more disgruntled, whereas, like, Bill Murray is, like, torturing people and firing people and being just, like...
Oh, sure. No, he's ruthless.
Heartless. She's more of just, like, she's upset around the holidays because that's when her father died, and she takes it out on everybody around her, but she's not, like...
Yeah.
I don't know, you get what I'm saying here? She's still an asshole. I'm just saying it's not Bill Murray levels like Scrooged.
Yeah, she definitely got 5 pounds of veal for Christmas. That's what did it, yeah.
That's what it was. But he asked Santa for a choo-choo.
Why don't you go buy yourself a choo-choo?
But where do we go from here?
To the fucking bar called Top of the World.
The North Pole Tavern, guys.
Oh, my God. Fucking Costanzo's back, and he's like, hey, come over here and suck my North Pole there, sweetheart. What are you doing?
Yeah, what the fuck? He's like, come here, let me assault you. Like, to everybody around.
Yeah, Nick's almost getting into a fucking bar fight with this guy.
You want to come up to my castle and see my dong or what?
Yeah, Santa has words with this guy.
Dude, Santa puts his fucking dukes up. He's ready to go.
Santa's about to fish hook this motherfucker, okay?
He's ready to go.
He's like, how dare you talk to them like that? You're ruining the spirit of Christmas. I ought to fucking box your ears, you little prick.
Prepare to defend yourself.
And then Ralph comes in like Fry from Futurama, shutting up Farnsworth. Like, ignore this crazy old man. Slurm's okay. He says he's my grandson? Come on.
He says some shit like, if you let me go, I could whip him without breaking a sweat. And he's like, yeah, I know, Santa. Sit the fuck down and gaze into my magic snowball, okay? My snow globe. Look at it. You see that?
my snow hexagon.
Yeah, the snow globe that shows that the whole world is ending.
Shut the fuck up. Look at the globe.
You see that shit? You see that? That's Bruce fucking Davison in there. You see him?
Yeah. That's got to be the next MDU Chronicles, just seeing the fucking Titanic 2 inside that snow globe.
T-Day.
Yeah, it's C-Day. It's Convergence Day. It's when all this is aligned.
That's why that iceberg fell, because they didn't know why it was happening. That's why that iceberg fell into the water and caused a giant fucking tsunami.
Exactly. It's a literal magic event. They couldn't stop it.
Yes. It was John Hurt as well. Like, he facilitated it. You think he gave Santa memory loss or something? Like, made him procrastinate? Because he's like, ha-ha, the end of the world will come from you, Santa, you fuck.
Through time travel, he created all those weird contractual issues that would kickstart the apocalypse. Wouldn't it be funny if the world ended because of bureaucracy?
Whoopi Goldberg, do you know anything about quantum physics?
I think what happened is Hurt just came in and just started, like, re-adding pages to Santa's, like, desk calendar, so he wasn't really sure what time of year it was. He was like, shit, I thought yesterday was the 22nd. All right. The calendar never lies. And then eventually someone, like, clued him in, and he's like, oh, fuck, and he's, like, a month and a half behind, and he didn't know, because he's in the North Pole, not really paying attention.
He takes all the batteries out of his clocks on the walls.
Yeah, exactly.
He just smashes them all, like Hook.
And that's why it's a mad fucking dash in this movie, to get this done.
I love the next scene, because, like, without skipping a beat, he's like, all right, we gotta save Christmas in the world, I guess. So they leave, and they're walking down the street, him and Ralph, and he's like, nobody even gives a fuck about any Christmas anymore. And he's like, oh, Merry Christmas. And the guy's like, yeah, whatever. And he's like, see? Fucking fuck them. Let's let it all burn to the ground. Flood the fucking world. Kill them all.
The same plot point that's used in almost every Christmas movie. Let's reuse this old hat.
You know what I think you need, Santa? A motherfucking Christmas booster shot. Let's go.
We're going to church.
I'm gonna go check out Whoopi Goldberg's niece sing something for you.
I like how, this does it. Nothing else. No other human actor on Earth could convince him for 200 years. But he goes to a church and watched 7 kids sing, out of sync with each other, and he's like, oh, well, Christmas must be saved.
Well, the main girl's very good.
They all answer to the same higher power.
It's true.
He says that to the one guy when they switch over to, like, the Jewish channel at one point.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that.
We all answer to the same boss.
Meanwhile, he's wearing a fucking Come On Baby Light My Menorah shirt.
Yeah.
So this little girl's name is Jasmine, and she sings, like, really well, if it is indeed her voice. So I thought, like, maybe she was, like, an up-and-coming star, singer or something. I can't find a goddamn thing about her on the internet except that she's in this movie, so maybe not.
Hey, my niece can sing. Could you be in your movie?
Yeah, right.
You know, I got the perfect part for her. Come here. She's gonna save Christmas.
But actually have zero impact on the plot.
No, it's just a scene out of Sister Act 2.
Yeah.
In the church, and then that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
You want to talk about tertiary characters? She's number one on the list.
So then we go to this church sequence to Whoopi's apartment.
Yes.
This wooden covered apartment it's actually pretty fucking nice. I'll take it.
It's huge.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
I don't like those stairs. I don't like the stairs with the gaps in between the steps. I'm not too crazy about that. But
nope.
hey, it's in LA and it looks magnificent.
To me, that's a broken ankle and a broken neck after you fall.
Oh, yeah.
She's there in her apartment, and she's on the phone with Taylor, like, yeah, you gotta take care of this. If you don't, your ass is grass. And then the boss comes in. He's like, oh, did we find Santa? We gotta find this guy. And he gets on the phone with Taylor. He's like, oh, if you find him, I'll give you an office bigger than Whoopi's. And then she's like, oh, come on.
First, he threatens to fire him and then hire his family so he can fire them, too.
Yeah. He's like, I'll follow your whole family.
And the other thing is, too, like, there's this plot point that is mentioned in the beginning of the movie that, well, if they sell, X amount of money, more than QVC, then he's going to buy Whoopi a trip to wherever she wants because she's his favorite producer.
Well, no, she's trying to fuck her hard.
Bora Bora, baby.
With me.
Yeah, I got to go to Bora Bora, so that keeps coming up.
Oil up some pool boys or whatever the hell she was talking about.
Oh, yeah, she's talking about lubing them up and pulling them off, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Pants and jimmies and everything.
And she's like, yeah, just me and the pool boys. And he's like, yeah, and me too. And she's like, I don't think so. Hey, kids, it's me, Haggerty the Blue. This week's special code word is Titanic 2. Direct message movie dumpster on your favorite social media app to enter the secret Santa giveaway. Again, my secret code is Titanic 2. Good luck.
So then, boss man's on the phone ranting and raving, like, yeah, you'll get this bigger office. Hold on, let me answer the door. And Santa's standing there. He's like, I'll take you out to dinner. And he hangs up. And Santa's there. He's like, all right, I'm ready to continue working. And boss man's like, all right, I'll pay you double. No, I'll pay you triple. He's like, oh, wait, you already agreed to do it? Okay, well, what if you just stay at Whoopi's? Because
Yeah.
she can't really say no.
I'll put you up in the best spot in the city. This apartment.
Also, you'll just live here in someone else's home.
Fucking weird.
I'm telling you, man, this is Santa's got a subplot where he's fucking trying to secure that nest egg. Here it is. He's getting paid triple now to do this fucking gig.
The boss is like, that's cool, right, Whoopi?
He just inserts himself into Whoopi Goldberg's life.
He's like the Terry O'Quinn of Christmas.
What is he, the talented Mr. Ripley? What is that?
He's Santa. He's Santa Claus.
I become you and you become me, and then I'm rich and you have to give out toys for the next 200 years.
He's Mr. Ice, King Ice, whatever the fuck he called himself.
In Siberia, they called me Mr. Iceman, or whatever he says.
What killed the dinosaurs? Santa Claus.
The Ice Age.
Fun fact about DC, Santa exists and goes to Darkseid's planet every year to give him coal, and then fucks off.
No wonder he's so mad all the time.
Let me rephrase that. He battles his way through Apocalypse to give Darkseid coal and then just flies away.
Is this Santa Goldberg that goes?
Oh, I think he would mount Darkseid's head on a spike.
Jackhammering Darkseid and then sticking a fucking lump of coal in his stocking, his proverbial stocking.
Tell Granny Goodness I said hello.
Well, this is technically Santa Goldberg as well.
It could be. I mean, we talked about that. What was that? Connor had a name for it. The League of Santas or whatever.
Oh, Reign of the Santa Clauses.
Yeah.
It's just like Reign of the Supermen.
You have literal Santa Goldberg, and then you have Santa Whoopi Goldberg. So
Sure. Not the same person, but possibly could be.
it's two different, there's timelines really close to each other.
I want to see Whoopi Goldberg jackhammer somebody. I'd be kind of into that.
So he's in there, so Santa's in Whoopi's house, and he's like, oh, listen, Lucy, I lied to you. I've been watching you since you were a little girl. And we don't even have to make the joke because Whoopi Goldberg does it for us.
Yeah.
In spectacularly terrible delivery, instead of like calling the cops or being truly mortified, she acts like she stepped in shit.
He's just, ew,
She's like, oh, ew.
ew, ew.
She's like,
You, ew. Really, man? That's gross.
And then immediately after, he's like, all right, you're not going to believe me. Shut your eyes. And she's like, whoa, hold on.
And she's like, wait, what?
He goes, look at my magic hat first. And it like glows and shit. She's like, wow, why aren't we selling those? She's like, no. Close your eyes. I'm going to take you to my workshop. Here we go.
I'm going to take you to see Pino. He's a friend of mine.
Oh, God. I'm gonna scare you into being a good person. Just look at him.
He's just humping Mrs. Claus in the background. Mommy, are you my mommy? Hey, mommy, I'm a good boy, mommy.
Gaze upon this abomination.
I wanted a son, and that's what I got.
Are you gonna behave yourself now?
Welcome to my hell.
I'll put him in your house instead of me.
Oh, my goodness.
So, much like Tim Allen's The Santa Claus, I know they take the sleigh there and everything, but there's this whole thing where it's like, oh, wow, we're at the North Pole now. How the hell did we get there? Is this a dream? We're not really sure. I guess it's happening. My feet are cold. Oh, shit. It's not a dream? Oh, my God. This is really happening.
Santa's Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, she saw Ed Galen passed out.
He's a dream demon.
Want to see my knife fingers?
Because he just, has her open her eyes, and she's in the fucking Wizard of Oz. No, she's in the North Pole in this little TNT budget Santa's workshop.
This is like Willy Wonka threw up all over a fucking toy shop, dude.
Yeah, Christmas That Almost Wasn't had better production.
I'm pretty sure there's a fake hallway in one of these shots, too, because, they pan across, and it looks like they're using mirrors to make something longer than it is, because it just looks fucking weird.
Yes.
That or it's painted on, just just a picture.
Jonathan's there banging his fucking head against the wall, talking about prunes.
He also had a pituitary gland problem.
He sure did. Ralph is his son. That's why.
Ooh, that's a scary thought. Jonathan was an elf? Well, he was the head elf. That's true.
Yeah, just like Ralph. That's why he's so big.
So, but instead of him saying prune, loon, moon, June, apricot and all that shit.
Crabapple?
Whoopi just kind of took that unknowingly and just kind of flipped it on its head and just, the whole Ralph situation we were talking about earlier, calling them different names.
Oh, yeah. So she faints and she comes to and she's like, I had a dream I was surrounded by goblins. And all of them are like, what? Oh, my God. We were elves, you stupid idiot.
And then Ralph's like, goblins are what happens with leprechauns and what else?
Gnomes.
Gnomes have a naughty night on the beach or something.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the most impenetrable joke I've ever heard in my life.
Get drunk on the beach at night.
It's so
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah.
Now, I could see Lubden on the beach with his starfish just really having a good time.
That's how you make goblins.
Maybe he puts a little red hat on it and he calls it a fucking gnome, and that's where they got this information.
No, man. He fucking Norm squeezes there. That's what happened. What's her name? I forget her name. Luna? I think her name is, or some shit. Lubden is fucking Norm's girlfriend. That's how you get goblins.
Yeah, so goblins, a thing that I thought was a throwaway joke. No, it's not. But yeah, she's in Santa's workshop, and they're all acting like she should not be shocked by this in the least.
Yeah, Rudolph's fucking looking at her through the window.
Yeah, she looks outside, and she's like, oh shit, there's snow outside. Where am I?
Santa introduces her to his Swedish masseuse, also known as Mrs. Claus, Helga, I believe her name is.
Helga.
And then Whoopi insults her entire culture.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, what the fuck?
My fucking jaw dropped.
She's like, Herga Burga Garbaginga.
She just starts speaking nonsense.
She doesn't speak a word of English. She only speaks Norwegian. And she's like, oh yeah? Flinga-dinga-hinga-darken-leaf Erickson.
Yeah, darken.
Himba-gerben chocolate baskets, Himba-gerben.
The furshy. So they go to Willy Wonka's toy shop, and she shows him the sleigh. And she's like, wow, this is the sleigh. And he's like, yep, sure is. Look at the sound system in it. Wow, that's super fat, yo, because it's 2001 and we're still saying fat.
Were we still saying fat in 2001? I was trying to think about this. I'm like, when did fat die out?
With Chris Tucker, right? I thought it died with him.
I'm pretty sure it was before 2001.
I feel like I was not cool enough to say that word. I don't think it's ever left my lips, to be perfectly honest.
I've never used the word fat in a real sense.
I've always thought it was fucking stupid.
I was also, on a side note, we didn't really talk about this, but she has this car that she drives around, this red fucking, not a bug, but kind of a bug convertible.
It's a bug.
That it was her father's. I was motherfucking convinced that by the end of this film, this was going to be her sled. She was going to attach the fucking reindeer to it.
That's what I thought.
That would have been good.
Driving fucking Mickey's jalopy through the movie.
Yeah, we don't get that, though. This thing's breaking down constantly.
I was gonna say, like, that would be some form of storytelling of which this movie has virtually none of.
Right.
Yeah. She's like, this is the sleigh, huh? How do you do it? He's like, okay, Whoopi, well, have you ever heard of quantum mechanics and the theory of relativity? Have you ever seen Back to the Future or Avengers Endgame?
Here's a map of the multiverse. This is the source wall.
Does the name Hank Pym or Joe Buchanan ring a bell?
She's like, nope. He's like, we go really fast.
Yeah, long story short, we go really fast.
Time and space.
We have an Event Horizon engine.
We don't have a lot of time. This is a TNT original movie. We have a schedule to keep to.
But we're gonna dick around for the last 20 minutes of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
And then he's like, all right, guys, I need some time alone with Whoopi. Turn the house lights off like it's a warehouse.
Turn down the house lights.
House lights off. He sets it like a fucking scene. He sets the scene like fucking Night Gallery. He's gonna talk to her like fucking Rod Serling.
It's just taking me back to the days when I used to work with Joe in a literal warehouse and that shit would happen. And you'd have those fucking just the safety lights on.
Oh, yeah.
And he's sitting in the sleigh kind of leaning over it. And he's like, all right, Whoopi. He's like, I got to show you one more thing to make you really believe. And she's like, huh, okay, yeah. What do you need me to do? He's like, shut your eyes. And she's like, this shit again. He's like, no, come on, just shut your eyes. And they teleport back in this terrible green screen effect where they're sitting like on a bench or like on a windowsill almost to the side, like in a flashback to the opening scene where she's sitting on Santa's lap.
Right.
But it's all in black and white.
And she's completely captivated. She's like, oh, that's me. Yeah, I remember that. I remember now. And he's like, oh, okay. Well, here's the deal. So there's a clause, the or else factor. So basically what I want to know is, what I'm trying to say is, if you don't become the next Santa Claus, you remember Noah's Ark? Think of that without the Ark. You remember that one?
Remember that Kevin Costner movie?
Remember Titanic 2?
No, there's a Titanic 2, she says?
She's like, wait, what? He's like, oh,
it hasn't been made yet. My mistake.
you'll see. Once you're plucked from the timeline, it'll happen.
and this is where the point in the movie where the movie is kind of playing with the idea that maybe this is where Whoopi starts to kind of understand and maybe have a change of heart. But then she throws it away for 20 minutes.
Yes and no. Yeah.
He's basically like, I need you to remember the promise you didn't realize you were making, and you need to be Santa Claus and fix this
Yeah.
shit because I procrastinated for 200 years.
I've sort of backed you into a corner here.
This is like Sam Whipple writing Santa Claus, like coming back and Santa Claus being like, hey, remember that
Right.
letter you wrote when you were 8 years old?
Literally the same thing.
Look me up if you ever need something.
Well, because he makes this whole point that, the hat only glows on people that truly believe in Christmas with all their might.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of the whole caveat of why she's the last one that he went to, that, everybody else, again, he doesn't really explain it, or they're dead, or they didn't believe anymore maybe, but I don't see, she doesn't believe worth a lick, so I don't know how she's a good choice.
That's what my problem is too, because it's like, well, at one point, yeah, and then the stuff with her dad happened, and all of that, and now it's like, well, would she still have the same? I mean, she doesn't give a shit. I guess like deep down inside, she does. That's the whole thing? Question mark.
Maybe I'll save this to the end, but like I'll say like a quick version of it, but I could buy into that message.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Sure, why not? There's plenty of media that do that. The change of heart, even if you got to really rip it out of the person, it's possible. But we don't have that at all.
No, it's very like drop of a hat kind of thing. Because he's like, so you're going to be Santa? She's like, no, take me back to the fucking thing. And he's like, okay.
And he's like, oh, if you don't take the red pill, basically, you'll just think it was a dream. And you'll wake up, and she's like, okay. Moments after she wakes up, she's like, oh, man, I had the weirdest dream. Santa just, like, he doesn't drop a beat. He just acts like it happened. He's like, so, about the hat, you going to put it on?
He's like, you want to talk about your dream? Let's talk about it. I'm like, no, I think I'm going to go to bed. Bye.
Remember when I asked you to be Santa? I was serious.
And she's like, yeah, there's some blankets and some pillows under these stairs.
Yeah, okay, goodbye.
What if there was nobody left on his list because after he tells them he's Santa Claus, they said no, he just kills them?
That's what I'm thinking, man.
I'm afraid you can't know my secret.
He doesn't have a neuralizer that we're aware of.
What's the next thing for him? Is he just going to scratch her name out and then just like go roam around LA like, I guess I'll wait for it to die. guy.
Waits for his apocalypse.
Playing skee ball or whatever the fuck he's doing.
Or to Connor's point, it's like it functions kind of like a death note, but it's like a Santa note. And it's like you're right, Connor. When that name gets crossed off in that particular ledger, you don't want to get crossed off. Put it that way.
It's Whoopi has a heart attack in the next scene.
Well, thanks, Ryuk. It was worth a try.
No problem.
But you don't see anything. You just hear the voice. God, I can't believe we reviewed that on this show. Just by the way, thanks, Connor.
We sure.
No problem.
First season. So this is the other scene in the movie. There's a couple scenes in this movie that I really love, and the one was before with the kid Jack, and this one is where Santa's doing his routine. He's doing the show or whatever, and they get like a call in, and Garb is like, "Oh, you got somebody on the phone, Santa." He's like, "Oh, on the okay, I'll take a call on the telephone."
I love that he just walks off set and the camera follows him.
Yeah,
breaks the fourth wall.
That's what I'm saying. No one trained this guy at all. Like when they start the day, hey. At some point today, we're going to ask you to, like, take a phone call. There's a phone literally right here, but this isn't what we're telling you to answer. Just stand there, pause for a moment, and it'll start playing. Oh, okay, yeah, no problem.
Like, instead of saying, "Oh, we have a listener caller," he, like, goes over and picks up the phone and starts talking to them.
Yeah. Hello? Hello?
Hello? Who?
And they're all losing their minds, all the producers. To the point where Victor Garber literally has to walk on camera to fucking get his attention. Mind you, this is a live broadcast.
This is the Muppet Show of fucking home shopping networks. Like,
and Whoopi has this great line. She's like, "Oh man, everybody's getting on the camera this year," or something to that effect.
So on the phone is this little kid who is like, "Oh, I was adopted from Korea, and I just wanted to know if Santa was Korean, or why you're not Korean, or if the real Santa's Korean." And he responds with like this poem, and I don't have it quoted, but you can go look up the scene, I'm sure, or go watch it on YouTube for free. But it's basically like this really heartwarming thing that's basically like, Santa isn't a person, it's a feeling, and like the Christmas spirit embodied, and it's kind of like whatever you make of it, and it's about being happy and kind of sharing that with everybody else, whether he's like black or brown or he says something like slanted eyes or something like that. But I just thought that was a really sweet thing, and I think that's like one of the first times I've seen something like that in a Christmas movie like this.
Yes.
I've definitely never heard anything like that in any Christmas movie.
I've never heard anything like that ever except this, and I thought that was really fucking great. And more of that, please, and less of Whoopi Goldberg in this movie.
Well, it's also like that positive reinforcement for when Whoopi does, eventually take the mantle, that it's like,
oh, sure.
Santa's already kind of put the idea out there, like, you could be any color, ethnicity,
it doesn't matter.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. You could still be Santa as long as you got Christmas in your heart and, hope in your heart. And he kind of ends his point by saying, he calls out Lucy specifically, and Whoopi's like, "Oh my God, he said Lucy. And everyone in the control room's like, what? No, he said the name of the little girl. She's like, rewind it. And they rewind it, and it's the name of the little girl. I think it's like Meredith or Margaret or something.
Meredith, yeah.
And Whoopi's like, okay, well.
Where's my latte?
It's like, "No, sorry, I must be PMSing and imagining my own name being called."
Who fucking wrote that joke? Who wrote that joke?
And then that gopher is like, "Yeah, what, every day?
Yeah, like you're PMSing all the time, I guess.
You're an asshole every day?"
Eternal rag, I guess.
So cheap. So cheap.
That was probably a line from Goldberg herself. Just like,
What if I say I'm PMSing? Oh, that's hilarious, Whoopi. Go for it.
I mean, it's Whoopi. You're gonna tell her no unless it's like really bad.
Sure.
yeah, on a made-for-TV movie on TNT, that's how Whoopi Goldberg no. You're gonna do what the fuck she wants.
Whoopi signed this and never read the script until she walked on set the first day.
Yeah.
She said, "I'm going to be Santa Claus?" Okay. And that was it.
Yeah, sounds great. How much you paying me? Okay.
But no, to Sean's point too, like, yeah, it could be a man or a woman. You're simply Santa, and that's it.
Right. As much as I'm digging on this movie, and I'm not going that hard, I don't feel like, but
No.
I like the Santa portrayal a lot in this film. It's well done. It's heartwarming. It is what you expect when you see this character portrayed on film, and usually it is, sometimes not so much. I just think this is a particularly well-done version of it.
Absolutely.
I would love this Santa in another film.
Right.
Yes.
No, exactly.
I was gonna say he's in a movie he doesn't deserve to be in because he's above this.
Exactly. Is this one of those? This is one of those things like Julie and Julia, where I cut out all the Whoopi Goldberg stuff and just do the Santa stuff because that's a good movie.
Let's bring it into the MDU. You know, Steve Irwin's crocodile collision course. So let's get rid of all the Magnus Subansky bullshit
Exactly.
and just have Croc. You know, let's have Steve instead of him like battling fucking secret agents or some shit on the back of a fucking truck.
Worst idea ever.
Well, Steve Irwin did kill a man in that scene, remember?
Yeah.
Oh yes, he killed him with a helicopter, didn't he?
Also, can you imagine if Steve Irwin were to become Santa Claus?
I'd love that.
Oi!
He'd still be alive.
There'd be no secret. He's just out in the open with it.
Yeah,
Well,
but he still wears khaki shorts, right?
make Whoopi Goldberg Santa Claus and it's all out in the open, apparently.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So then we get this is one of those big montages where just like shit happens and it's like, okay, Whoopi doesn't want to be Santa Claus and she's not sure what she's going to do. So we're going to montage the next week and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's days passing on a fucking calendar.
Literally with the little Jesus popping into each little fucking cubby of each date.
Yeah, it's their version of the Christmas Vacation calendar, like the low-budget version. We get a bunch of scenes, too, where Santa's, like, walking around town, like, watching, like, acts of good. Like, he even sees Whoopi's niece and his brother and her brother, like... I don't know. I remember what they're doing, but they're, like, working at the church, I guess, getting ready for the recital. And he sees, like, some people leave blankets for a homeless person, which was really nice. And
That is bullshit, by the way.
Literally place a blanket.
Those two women were not putting a blanket on that homeless man. Sorry.
yeah, people do that, and
They literally put a blanket on that homeless man.
I like that.
It's like 90 degrees outside.
Oh, sure. I think it's the sentiment is there, though.
Yeah, get him a bottle of water.
Get him hydrated, that poor man.
Get him like a huge Fiji water or something, one of those big boys.
Also, LA Christmas is not for me. It's like, I know people like that Hawaiian Santa shit or like Christmas stuff. I'm just not
Oh, yeah.
with the hot weather. Like, I need cold weather to enjoy with Christmas. I don't know.
Poor Connor.
I'm sorry, Connor. Come home for the holidays.
I'm still in shorts here, first of all. Also, when it gets cold here, like at night, it's fucking cold, but I think the coldest it gets here is like 40 degrees during the day.
Damn, why am I living in New Jersey right now?
That's pretty cold, though.
Yeah, but to these people, it's like the apocalypse. They're like, oh my god, we're going to freeze to literal death.
Oh, yeah.
Joe, I don't know. I feel like I could get used to it pretty easily. I just get the tree in the house and I'm good, but you're right. It is a total, especially when you grow up in the Northeast, it is a culture shock. I'm sure. Well, Julie, you lived in Florida for a while.
I was going to say, I lived in Florida for 6 years, and I remember putting up my Christmas lights in 80-degree weather one year, like in a tank top, and I was sweating, and I'm like, fuck this.
You know what's funny about that, now that they say that, I think I'm the only one that has not lived in Florida on this show currently.
Yes,
It's true.
Yeah, that's true.
In some capacity. I guess that's all the time, really.
you're lucky.
Congratulations.
But with that said, these people just trying to give this homeless person a blanket is really the point.
No, sure. I just thought it's funny because they just lay it over his corpse.
Generally, people not being pieces of shit is this whole montage.
And then we come around to, what is this, Christmas Eve now or Christmas Day?
I think it's Christmas Eve, and then like Santa's still.
I guess it must be, right?
Yeah, Santa's like trying to bribe Whoopi Goldberg with like homemade preserves from Mrs. Claus in the fridge or some shit.
Yeah.
Courtesy of the kitchen of Helga Claus, it says on them. In case that dream is a little fuzzy, Whoopi, here you go. Here's evidence that it wasn't a dream, just to confirm it, lady.
And she is steadfast in not wanting to be Santa.
Oh no.
At all. Doesn't want to do it. No way, except one way.
Right. Once it hits Christmas Eve, then maybe.
They're wrapping up their sales tonight. They're wrapping up the show, and Santa's like, You can get an email gift card where you can show somebody what you bought them and get it later. Oh, the internet, it's crazy. 2001.
It's a series of tubes.
Have I ever told you about the quantum realm?
I know a nice young man named Job who lives inside it.
Job.
I wonder how him and that monkey are doing.
Merry Christmas, Cybo Man.
But after the many times in this film where Santa has been asked not to ad-lib, they're like, all right, here's the last one. And then it's like some fucking raft, and Santa's like cracking up. He's like, yeah, that'll be a good one to get. Like, when the world floods, ignore that last line.
I just put that together.
Yeah, because then the boss is like, oh, why did he have a raft as the last one? What was that all about? And Whoopi's like, I said he'd get a freebie for doing such a good job, and he liked that in the catalog. I said, what the hell? I gave it to him.
Yeah.
What a nice gift.
He's like, okay, fuck it, sell it.
It's a man coming to terms with his own impending doom by laughing it off on TV.
Santa's got it. Santa's gonna fucking put rocks in his pockets and call it a day.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then he has his final line, his final ad lib, and he has this like touching speech. This guy's full of touching speeches. I guess when you're 200 years old, you got a lot of poetry in the back of your noggin.
A lot of virtue, yeah.
But it's a nice touching, keep the spirit of Christmas in your heart kind of message again. And he kind of specifically calls out to Lucy, and he says, I hope you make the right choice, or good luck, or something like that. And then he kind of signs off, and she's like, really?
That's right.
For some reason, all of a sudden, these words that he's been saying for 4 fucking weeks, now this moment in time suddenly hits her in the heart, and she's like, oh, wait a minute. Was that about me?
I think so.
Wait 1 second.
The elves, the North Pole, Rudolph, all of it. It's real.
Just like the Force.
I thought it was just stories.
Just like those preservatives in my fridge. They're all real.
They're real.
They're delicious. Have you tried them? Try the pickles.
Helga's a hell of a pickler.
She sure is. She's hinga-dinga-darking all over that kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
God, the Swedish chef looks like sensitive, or sensible in comparison.
Yeah.
Already, you got the preservies.
So what? I'm trying to remember exactly how we get to this, but basically Santa leaves after Whoopi basically congratulates him.
Yeah, he gets out of there, and we have this quick scene between the gopher Lily and Taylor.
Oh,
there you go.
Here's your GVD connection.
She's like, hey, I know I'm just a gopher, whatever. And she's like, but I think you're so handsome. You want to come trim my tree or what? And he's like, that sounds fun and naughty.
Trim my tree.
Keep it trim and wet.
In the middle of this big Christmas plot, they stop to do a bit about people fucking.
Yeah, want to have a holly jolly hump session or what?
Well, like I said, keep it trimmed and wet.
You gotta soak my stump there, kiddo.
Yeah. When she walks up to him, she like basically undoes her ponytail, and he's like, whoa, who's this hot mama?
Yeah, who are you?
Yeah, takes the glasses off kind of thing, yeah.
I know I'm just the gopher, bites bottom of the lip.
But I just couldn't help but see you're so handsome, and I just need to get wet. You know what I'm saying? Merry Christmas.
And then they both literally and figuratively fuck out of the movie.
Sure do. They fuck right off and into each other, I guess.
Again, this is Santa basically saying, giving his last pitch to Whoopi, and she's still not buying it. And he again Batmans her and gets the fuck out of there.
He leaves her a fucking note and the hat.
Back at her apartment, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought for a hot second he undid his powers or some shit, because he puts it on his head, it glows, and he's like, yep, all right. Puts it down on the table, pats it like, goodbye, old friend. And puts like a handwritten note on top of it, and solemnly walks out of her apartment, still in the Santa regalia, minus the hat.
And he's like, Spider-Man no more, and then he walks off.
Yeah, no, he fucking, then it cuts to the outside of the building, he just jumps off.
Oh, God.
That's it. Either you're gonna be Santa or not, but I'm done.
I did it for you, Damien.
It's like Shawshank Redemption when he can't deal with it, when he finally has to get a job.
Yeah, he gets on a stool and carves in Santa was here before he does it.
Santa was here. Merry Christmas. And then, folds his shoes and shit, folds his Santa suit, and he takes his shoes off.
Yeah, and then that's what Whoopi sees when she walks in. Terrible.
A naked Santa hanging from a rafter. Those steps, those backless steps, that's where he's going. Yep.
I mean, realistically, he'd probably turn into magic and disappear, and she just find the regalia on the ground. I'm like, I guess he left me the suit.
Oh, yeah, he fucking Yoda's right out of there.
What the hell's with the noose? What is this, some sick joke? All right, Nick.
So Whoopi Goldberg tries to start Mickey's jalopy, and it won't fucking start. And she gets a ride home from Cameron because he's like, oh, yeah, we did a great job. We're going to make lots of money together. Jump on in here. We're going to Bora Bora, baby.
Right.
And we're going to buy the concept of Christmas.
We're going to fuck and we're going to love it.
And this is where a throwaway line by the elves of, yeah, leprechauns and gnomes fuck. They create goblins. They're evil. Comes back full circle because Whoopi, now that she has, I guess, kind of the Santa powers, but not totally yet, can recognize that he's a goblin because his ears just start to turn into goblin ears, spiked ears. Like you just took the clone effect in Photoshop and just fucking hit it about 1,000 times.
His face morphs via 90s computer technology.
Oh my god, it looks like some bad After Effects morphing, dude. It looks worse than like the Snoop Doggy Dogg video.
It looks bad. It looks really bad. And he's like laughing maniacally while he's talking about taking over Christmas because he's, they got the most money ever with this new Santa Claus.
And he's like glowing.
He looks like an Animorph halfway through.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like somebody put the liquefied tool on him.
And then Whoopi straight up is like, I don't love you. I want nothing to do with you. Pull the fuck over and get me out of this car.
I can't let anyone own Christmas because nobody should own Christmas because I love it and I decided I want to be Santa now.
Yeah, this is her turn. In the car with the goblin boss.
Whoopi's literal face turn. This is where she should have used her patented jackhammer, Whoopi Bill Goldberg, and taken this guy out.
Through his car.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah, through the car. It explodes like a fucking
pull a body by Jake.
Just like SmackDown 4.
Yeah. I was gonna say it explodes like Street Fighter 2, like bonus stage.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's a quick scene where the elves are like, well, we're dead, but I guess we'll just go down with the ship and keep making these presents.
I guess we'll have a sense of humor about it and walk around with swimmies on.
Yeah, I was gonna say with the fucking swimmies and life jackets, they're just ready to go.
And Ralph's like, thank God I saw Titanic.
Peter Weller's in the corner. He's like, did you know an elf can tread water for 3 days straight?
And their bite has 10,000 pounds of pressure.
They can chew through concrete.
Did you know that the tiger sharks, they circle around you and they just pick you off one by one? And they kind of play with you. They play with the dead.
Who invited Peter Weller to this toy shop?
Yeah, Quint's in the corner. That's the USS Indianapolis, Peter. What are you talking about?
Yeah, didn't really think this reference through. I just kind of threw it out there. I don't know. I've been fighting a rat for the last fucking 2 weeks. My wife's gonna be home any second and kill me.
I'm going insane. I'm gonna hit that J&B. I'll see you later.
I didn't get the raise I needed and my house is a fucking wreck. I should have just had it fumigated. Tony from Hack the Movies said get it fumigated and I told him to go fuck himself and look what happened.
Dear Tony, all I want for Christmas is you to shut up about my rat problem.
Well, according to you people, my problems will be solved tomorrow when there's a flood, so who cares if my house is trashed?
Yeah, it's gonna get trashed again.
Except the rat. The rat'll survive.
That's the real pisser. What really happened? Weller finally got that house back in tip-top shape. Took him a couple of years, and then this fucking shit happened. Took it out again.
He looks out the window and sees a tidal wave.
It's a tsunami.
Oh no.
Well, shit. So Whoopi goes home and finds the note from Nick, and she puts on the hat and jumping jingle bells, guys. She's convinced she's Santa Claus now because it's glowing and she's happy? ?
She's got some dance moves in this scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Santa.
Yeah, I'm Santa.
How cool am I? I'm Santa.
Cheer clogs me the fuck up. She literally goes for this whole movie, first hour and 10 minutes. Don't want to be Santa. Don't fucking like Christmas. My dad died around Christmas. I hate fucking Christmas. I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
2, oh my God, wait a second. Santa, you've been telling me for 40 minutes of this movie that if I put this hat on, I'll become Santa. Now I read the notes. Okay, I get it now.
It's official.
It was the goblin that triggered her, yeah.
Yeah, once she saw that.
It was nothing like sweet, like about like maybe like her dad or something. I mean, there's one point where she like looks at a photo of him or something, but like there's no connection to her like finding the spirit of Christmas again and kind of like overcoming that.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
She gets excited about this prospect like in a little bit with the benefit of like 200 years of, not aging. And that's the only time in this movie I see her get jovial about the idea of being Santa Claus because she's a deeply self-centered person.
Because she doesn't want to deliver toys for 200 years.
Yeah.
But she's gonna do it now. Now that she puts the hat on, I guess she gets all the fucking knowledge too.
Yeah, it starts snowing at the North Pole, and the end of the world clause like starts reversing itself.
Yeah. T-Day is,
Avoided for
well, not in the MDU, but the rest of the world it was.
at least in this timeline, you know.
Sure.
This moment splits the timeline, and the other one just floods, and that's how Titanic 2 happens. In this one,
Exactly.
I played Ocarina of Time. I know what you're talking about.
exactly. Or Legacy of Kain, it works both ways.
Put that sword back in the stone. Okay.
Put the Soul Reaver back into Raziel's chest.
So then she goes outside, and she's all hyped about being Santa, and this, like, door hop or whatever is like, oh, yeah, it's snowing. Whoopi, just take my coat. It's red, by the way.
Get it?
I need a cab.
Oh, at the end of the note, it says something like, I'm Saint Nick. Find me at the top of the world when you get a chance. And she's like, oh, I gotta go to the top of the world. He's like, oh, the only top of the world I know is this seedy fucking bar downtown. And she's like, that's it. I knew it. That's where he eventually is. But yeah, like Sean said, the fucking cab rolls up. I'm waiting for fucking Buster Poindexter to get out of this goddamn thing.
It's so bad. Such a ripoff.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
There's nowhere else. There's nothing else to say. It literally pulls around the corner. It's like, hey, I'm Ralph. And she's like, risotto? Is that you? Can you take me to the bar?
Niagara Falls, Frankie Angel.
On paper, I don't hate that, but like when you've already basically done all these shit that Scrooge did with your tiny spin on it, maybe you didn't also need a taxi fucking cab.
With a patently unfunny character.
Yeah.
with a red shade, by the way, a red paint job.
Yep, it's red cap. It even says it right on the top. So Ralph takes Whoopi to the bar, and Santa's getting sauced. He's playing darts.
And Ralph goes to torment Gordon Freeman in the Half-Life series because he's G-Man.
She runs in and scares him, but he still gets a bullseye. And she's like, I'm Santa now. And he's like, huh, okay, it worked. All right, great.
And then again, the last touching scene of the movie is with Santa or Nick rather, and he's like, listen, I just wanted to apologize about that bullshit that Ralph said when you were a kid. Santa Claus isn't God, and what I said was true about your dad. Like, keep that love alive in your heart and pass that love on, and your father will live forever with that love. You get it? Merry Christmas. And she's like, okay, but I'm going to be young for 200 years, right?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that's also in there. Cool, bye.
Well, okay, hold on. He doesn't just say goodbye.
No, he doesn't.
They go outside, and he basically says that to her, and then she's like, all right, well, if I'm going to look the same for 200 years, I don't want all my hair to be white. Like, keep some black in there.
Yeah, just sprinkle a few white dreads, if you will.
Okay, no problem.
And they do.
For the remaining of this film, Ralph is just like, can you hurry the fuck up? We got to deliver fucking presents. It's time to deliver presents.
This sassy bitch the whole time.
I don't like Ralph at all, but he's kind of got a point in this part of the film. Like, it's fucking do or die hour.
You got one fucking night to do this. Like, come on.
That's what I'm saying.
There is a looming apocalypse, so he's kind of in the right.
And all we do is fucking lollygag for the last 20 minutes of this movie.
It drags ass. The last 20 minutes, it's so bad.
When she becomes Santa Claus, it crashes to a halt.
It is so obvious that Whoopi Goldberg was just like, again, TNT movie made for TV. I'm not wearing some involved fucking wig where you can't see my hair. I'm just going to have this hat on like Ed from Good Burger with the hair attached to the inside of the fucking hat.
Yes.
And wear it over my dreads. And that's why she's like, whoa, I have some black hair too, so I just wear this wig over this one. Okay, yeah, great.
It's not even intermingling. It's just on top of her other hair.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The white dreads.
No, exactly.
It's cheap-looking bullshit.
It's so bad.
And then she has this, like, stupid joke where she's, like, got the belt on because she's Santa, and she's like, yeah, can the belt go? It's, like, squeezing my hips. And Santa's like, not a problem at all. And he, like, snaps his fingers, and it's gone. She's like, all right, perfect. All right, let's go.
Yeah, and there's just like a cloak at that point.
I mean, it's the classic Whoopi silhouette now. It's just a giant fucking shirt.
Right.
Yeah, being a big flowy shirt or sweater or whatever, coat.
And then we go like off on like it's It's the main mission,
Dude.
but it's treated like a side venture in the middle of the actual plot happening.
This should have happened 30 minutes into the film.
Oh yeah, I was at the plot's done. The movie's over at this point.
Yeah.
The movie's over.
It's like a zombie. It's just got back up and it's just lurching around.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
I wonder if they were just like, you know what, we can't have her become Santa and then just not actually do anything as Santa, because that's been done before. We got to get 15 minutes of her delivering presents and shit. Whoopie hijinks.
At least Prancer had the decency to end in that cliff and just like, well, fuck off. We're not gonna elaborate any of this shit. Figure it out for yourself, you fuckers.
They sure did. Sam Elliott's got a tear running down his eye. Waves. See you later. Credits. Yeah. There's this whole fucking bullshit where Santa teaches her to take off, even though he's not Santa anymore. He's already past the mantle, so she's officially Santa Claus at this point. Santa's like, oh, can I take one last ride in the sleigh, Ralph? And he's like, sure, Santa, get up in here. And then he never leaves because they start teaching Whoopi Goldberg, an hour and 20 minutes into the movie, how to deliver presents and go down a chimney and all of this bullshit.
And the first house she goes in, mind you, it's this massive chimney that I've never seen in my life.
Yeah. This is a wildly humongous chimney. You'd be having all kinds of birds flying in your house.
Yeah.
This is some 1800s fucking chimney.
We didn't see it transformed by Tim Allen's magic. It's just huge to begin with.
Okay, that's my big problem with this. There's no magic. She literally falls down a fucking chimney.
Yeah.
And there's a kid waiting. Wide awake.
Yep.
I guess this is just a thing that happens. Nick didn't warn her about this.
What are you doing awake? I heard 3 grown adults arguing on my roof. I went to see what was happening.
Then your big ass crashed into my living room. What the fuck are you talking about?
What are you doing?
Also, Santa makes it seem like he really only gives out a gift to each person, or maybe a few.
Sure.
He drops this fucking sack down the fireplace that's got about 30 or 40 gifts jammed into it, and then Whoopi pulls a bike out of it and leaves a bunch of stuffed animals all over the ground.
They're all broken.
No refunds, no takesies backsies.
And then she doesn't drink the milk or eat the cookies. The kid's just yeah, my dad's getting up. You should probably leave. And she's like, ah, shit, I don't know how to get out of here. She's like, got any suggestions, kid? He's like, front door.
You can't be Santa. You're a girl.
And she's like, thanks for noticing.
Thanks for noticing.
Yeah. So then she's back in the sleigh you guys couldn't tell me how to climb up. He's like, well, we wanted to see you struggle a little there, Whoopi.
Ralph's like, if you can remember my fucking name, I'll tell you next time. What do you say?
You don't get the power of flight for another 50 years.
Oh my God, Santa training?
And Joe, you're right, because this is where she's finally all right, if I'm going to work with you, I guess I'll call you Ralph. All right, Ralph.
Rastafari, whatever she calls him.
Call me Q.
He just laces his fingers.
And then instead of going anywhere else in the world, because she wants to go to China for some reason.
Oh my God.
I can't wait to get to China.
She's like, I can't wait to have some chow mein or some shit. And Ralph's like, we have to deliver fucking presents. You're Santa. This isn't a joyride. Can we hurry it up? And they're like, yep, let me just fuck around for another 20 minutes in this movie.
In L.A. Not delivering presents, not
Yeah, we never leave L.A.
No.
We've delivered one present.
We got to go to the church and just let everyone in the world know that Santa's real and it's Whoopi Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
Only the people in that church know.
She doesn't try to hide the sleigh on a roof or behind a barn or some shit like Marty McFly. She leaves it in the fucking road and just goes into this church in her full Santa regalia.
The real Santa's like, God damn it.
She walks in like people are supposed to know who she is. She hits the dude and she's like, yeah, I'm walking here. I'm fucking Santa Claus. He's like, what? I'm trying to watch this beautiful performance.
It's Santa Claus, Joe. Who else would it be?
Who else would it be?
Your bride.
So her niece is singing and we get one more musical number and Whoopi's like, wow, that was the first time I saw my niece sing ever and it was beautiful. Welp. I just wanted to come and take the glory away from you and tell you that I'm Santa Claus.
Thank God I could only do this now that I have superpowers, but not in my everyday.
No.
I want to see the fucking headlines the next day.
Right?
Santa real. It's Whoopi.
Santa Real is Home Shopping Network producer.
Right, well, right. Does she go back to work on the 26th? Did she just stay in the North Pole? Does she have a lease she has to take care of?
I think that's it. I mean, maybe that's all taken care of at that point. I mean, it's not her problem.
Bye, mom. Bye, brother. Bye, niece.
Well, she has to go back to work so she can sustain herself on torturing people psychologically, so.
Well, that's what the elves are for.
Like when she gets to the North Pole, do we find out that they have like some Men in Black tech? They're like, all right, Santa, now that you're officially in, Ralph's going to take you into the super advanced technologically involved basement where you're going to get all your fingerprints melted off and your name erased from all the records in history.
No, she goes up there and she starts asking people for vanilla lattes and yelling at them and criticizing their work.
Yeah, well, she's gonna berate all the elves now. But yeah, Sean, you're right. You'll be only known as S.
As Claus.
We're not hosting an intergalactic kegger.
But yeah, she just flaunts that she's Santa. They all come outside. They look at the sleigh. She's like, yeah, my 8 tiny reindeer.
A reindeer pisses on her brother's leg.
Ha ha!
And it's supposed to be funny. And he's just like, this reindeer pissed on my leg. And she's like, yep. And he's like, oh, okay. Yeah. It's not like, it's barely a joke.
He's really upset about it, and nobody gives a shit.
I was in this movie for 3 scenes to get pissed on. Okay.
My best suit ruined. My sister Santa, what the fuck?
That is definitely something Whoopi just added in. Like, and then
Yeah.
they're going to piss on his leg. Isn't that going to be great?
Let the reindeer piss on him. It'll be hilarious.
In a bit people thought were funny who made this movie.
Oh my God.
It's like 2 minutes too long, right? Like that whole section.
Yeah.
So then Whoopi gets on the sleigh and...
It's snowing now, Sean. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a fucking 2 or 3 inches of snow on the ground in L.A., and you just hear all these extras. Oh, my God. It's snowing in Los Angeles. Oh, my God.
And she like doesn't know the deer's names or whatever she's trying to take off.
Of course she doesn't.
God, this movie didn't have the fucking decency to just fuck off and end. It just trailed on for a couple extra minutes. I know.
Well, hold on. She's gotta take Nick out of his retirement. He's gonna relax with Mrs. Claus for the rest of eternity because I guess he's still immortal or something.
No, he should be not mortal now. So now you have this non-mortal that you're forcing into teaching you. She says that I want you to be my fucking liaison through how to be not only Santa Claus, but you're gonna pick the next fucking Santa Claus so I don't have to because you fucked up last time.
For the next 200 years, though, Joe. So is he just gonna be on the hook? Like, I guess, okay, I'm agreeing to this because I get another 200 years extra on Earth. Sure, why not? Does my wife get the same treatment, or is she just gonna wither away like a fucking pile of dust?
Well, she dies, and he becomes that zombie from Hellboy that he carries around on his back.
Okay.
Just yells at him in Russian.
Norwegian.
If Whoopi, 200 years from now, she has to get another Santa, you're just gonna eventually have this literal litany of Santas like we have in the MDU, with Whoopi and this guy at the head of it.
Yeah, well, this is the split, right? This is right where it splits, and you have WCW Goldberg Santa, and then you have Whoopi Goldberg Santa, and that's where those two split.
The Goldberg split the timeline again.
The Goldberg split in the timeline.
Multiple splinters in this episode.
Reign of the Santa Claus, everybody.
So Nick gets in the fucking sleigh, and he gets the deer to take off, and then they're just circling the church for what seems like an eternity, and then say goodbye like 4 fucking times.
Yeah, they come back for an encore.
Just to have her niece be like, well, after all of that, maybe she is Santa.
She's like, fly back around. I love the adoration.
So they fly past the fucking moon and credits.
Yeah, they wave to E.T.
She would smack him out of the sky for being in the way, okay?
Nobody's getting presents this year. Just FYI.
Right. Whoopi, you blew it. Actually, Santa kind of blew it. Whoopi didn't really know until the final hour.
This is the picking Anakin Skywalker of Christmas. You chose Darth Vader to be Santa.
Her Santa Chlorians were super high, so he had no other choice.
The doomsday clock was about to strike midnight, and that's when Santa fucking got off his ass and started getting some work done.
Here, see, this is what happens when you procrastinate. That's the lesson in this movie. Don't procrastinate.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That is the only lesson.
This is the worst effort I've ever seen to stave off the apocalypse. Like, at some point, everyone just stops caring.
Well, even at one point when Whoopi even says, like, after that whole, like, oh, let's make it a dream sequence, red pill, blue pill situation, she goes to bed and the fucking Ralph appears to Santa and is like, why didn't you just put the hat on her head? You could have just done that. And he's like, well, I don't want to force an honor.
But he kind of does anyway.
It's like, it's the end of the world.
It's like, I don't want to be pushy.
At this point, you're going out of your way to do a bad job.
Like, this guy might be the worst Santa. I mean, Whoopi Goldberg's probably going to be bad, but he was probably even worse, right? Because he, like, enjoyed it from the get-go.
Right. And the guy before him's retired in a fucking cottage just shaking his head when he's seeing this shit going down.
Right? It's one of those things where he didn't want to think about it because he was like, oh, I love being Santa Claus. I'll always be Santa Claus. And then the elf, like, was like, hey, it's fucking 200 years, buddy. And he's like, oh, shit.
Somebody was on that list that Santa had, but they didn't want to take the job. They weren't, they were killed possibly in the process, cross off the name. Dan Haggerty.
Oh, yeah.
I think was on that list. But, he had ascended. He was already as powerful, if not more powerful than Santa. So it would have really just, it wouldn't have really given him any more power. It's not like they don't stack. The powers don't stack.
No.
You know the rules. I can't hold 2 divine positions on Earth.
He gave him the year off this year, though. So, they kind of work together sometimes, I guess.
He gave Whoopi the year off.
Dan Haggerty gave Whoopi the year off.
But we gave her the year on, because this is the first year, well, for a few of us that knew this existed, but maybe not all of us.
Well, we had to tell her story so that she's in the book now. She's in the MDU, officially.
Right.
As a cautionary tale.
Yes.
The bartender's penciling her in.
Oh, yeah. So again, this is Trashing Through the Snow. So what are our presents under our Christmas tree for this film?
This is a box of reindeer shit.
Wow. Prancer's poop?
Yes, this is a pile of Prancer's shit.
What a sad box of shit.
After he's fallen off the cliff and voided his balance.
Sam Elliott went out there and collected it in a box, gave it to his daughter.
Real quick, he's like, my daughter could never see this. God, I hated this. It's a banal, made-for-TV, sentimentless, cynical, obnoxious Christmas movie, which is one of the most disposable forms of filmmaking on the planet. Just look at Hallmark. With a lead who doesn't give a fuck about anything she's doing, and all the jokes are terrible, and there's nothing I hate more in a movie than bad comedy. Fuck this movie. It's bad. It's a bad movie. It's a fucking bad movie.
Oh my goodness. This is one of those gifts that you get that somebody thinks you're going to like, but you don't really like. A jacket that you would never wear in a million years because it's just not your style.
The color you hate.
Yeah, but whoever bought it, his intentions were to be like, they're going to love this. It's going to keep nice and warm, and they're going to really enjoy it. It's a good gift. And then you get it, and you're like, fuck, damn. It's thoughtful, but I'm never going to wear this fucking thing.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's like the way that I feel about this film is like I see what they were trying to do, and there are some really great intentions with a lot of the scenes with Santa Claus. But this is not my fucking style at all. My goodness. Everything else around all of the Santa stuff is just horse shit. Like, it's just so fucking boring, and like, Whoopi really doesn't have anything. She feels like she's walking around. She's sleepwalking through this movie is what it feels like. There's a couple funny parts. I'll give it that. And again, the stuff with Santa is really sweet. And the message that they're telling there is something that I've never seen in a Christmas movie before. And I thought that was super positive and awesome. If we need a remake of a Christmas movie, don't let it be Home Alone. Let it be this movie. And do it some justice, because the themes here and a lot of the messages that are getting lost in all this other bullshit, I think should really come to light. And it could make for a really good a Christmas movie.
Yes, and cast Richard Mole as Santa Claus this time.
Yes, Richard Mole is Santa Claus, and he's passing the buck to somebody else.
He makes it through to the next round of auditions, and then he becomes Santa. That is the movie.
Haha, finally, Miss Dima wins the day.
Sign me up for Richard Mole.
As Kafka Claus.
Suck my dick, Santa Claus. I have your job now.
Clothes that you'd never wear, but the thought that counts, right? Yeah.
I would consider this an off-brand Snuggie.
Okay.
So it's cheap. It's a total ripoff. It's like made out of some uncomfortable fucking felt. You know what? I'll probably wear it on Christmas because I got it and I'm cold. And for the little parts of this movie that are endearing, those little parts of Santa, because I do think he is a really good Santa, the sentimental parts, it's worth wearing that night. But then, it's going to fall apart. It's going to rip when I walk around the corner. It's going to snag on the doorknob. It's gone. So
Yeah, one wash and it's over, yeah.
exactly. You can't even wash it. It just gets filthy and then it's done.
By next Christmas, it's gone.
It's gone. It just disintegrates, actually, because it's so fucking cheap.
Toby sleeps on it once and it's just never the same again.
Even Toby doesn't want to sleep on it.
Yeah, exactly.
What is this, off-brand? Ugh.
It gets folded up and put in the corner.
Yeah. This is uncomfortable.
I don't sleep on this.
But yeah, that's what I think this movie is for me.
This movie is it's a box that you open and it has like another box in it and then you have another box inside that box and then you keep going through boxes because someone in your family's a smart ass and you get to that last box and it's just a gumball surrounded by snowman poop, aka cotton balls.
Oh no.
Snowman poop is back.
And unfortunately, the one sweet bit in the box, the part you were trying to get to is just has this fucking fuzz all over it and you put it in your mouth and it just tastes like shit. That's this movie. The sweet gumball is the Santa Claus. And a couple of Whoopi's jokes here and there I felt like actually landed pretty damn good. I was laughing a few times. But if I got this gumball in my mouth or what have you, this jawbreak or whatever it is, and I'm also sucking on fucking cotton balls at the same time, I don't need it. I don't need a whole movie of this. Like Joe had said, take this Santa and put him in a different movie. Put him in another. Let's do a third remake of Miracle on 34th Street and get this guy. Even though he might not even be alive anymore. This was 20 years ago. But this style of Santa is really good. And the rest of the movie, not so much. Again, like if Whoopi had, or if it wasn't such a 180 out of nowhere, I kind of buy into it more. I actually might not dislike it as much, but it's just the fact that for 90% of this film, Whoopi does not want to have anything to do with this, and then in the last act, all of a sudden, without anything triggering it, she's saying thank you to her little gopher who gets her latte, and, you know, she's smiling all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden she sees the hat and she wants to be Santa, when she's hemming and hawing and telling Santa basically to go fuck off for the last, 45 minutes to an hour. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just stupid.
Unearned is what it is.
Yeah, and you know what? At the end of the day, it's harmless. Like, if I got this gift, okay, whoever did this, it was kind of annoying, but I get the joke. Right in the trash. I'm not even going to probably eat the gumball because it's just that disgusting. Who's going to waste their time on a 20-cent gumball that's covered in fucking cotton?
Yeah, I'm in my 30s. What do you think this will do to me?
Yeah. And I'm just going to go to Rite Aid and buy a bag of them, and it's not going to do anything. I'll be fine. Just open them up and eat them. So with that said, it's definitely a dumpster film, but it's probably like, I don't think it's surface level, but it's definitely not even mid-tier. It's like, elbow deep in the dumpster. You take that box of cotton balls and that gumball and you throw this VHS, or I guess it probably would be DVD. It was straddling that line in 2001. We could have either or.
It's in the kitchen right now.
Oh, we got the tape for sure. Yep.
It's downstairs.
I was going to say you could have a recorded copy off TNT with a bunch of other bullshit on there. Some old Joe Bob Brigg episodes.
Yeah, there you go.
And just bury it all together. Stick it in as far as you can. Try not to get too much dirty shit on you. Diapers and hamburger bits and hypodermic needles. Let's hope you don't get infected by trying to get rid of this fucking movie, because you don't want to see it again. It's a one and done kind of film.
I guess you wouldn't even put it on Baldwin, huh?
Fuck no, man. It's in the dumpster.
This contributes nothing to the statue.
I mean, just to compare to the last episode we did, Silent Night, Deadly Night 6, like, that movie sucked ass, but, like, there was parts about that movie that I could sit there and be like, you know what? That was so ridiculous that I kind of have to laugh at it.
Yes.
This movie...
That movie has sequences and story beats that are so insane that you walk away from going, oh, I'll never forget seeing,
right.
Automaton Pinocchio's concave pelvis. Like, it's never going to leave your brain.
Or Mickey Rooney smashing somebody over the head with a fucking Jack Daniels bottle.
Exactly. Like, it's such a weird fucking movie.
And just to go back to something Connor says a lot is like, you don't agree necessarily in this case, Connor, but, like, I didn't feel like I wasted my time watching this film. Like, I don't feel like time was stolen from me.
No.
But I'm not going to watch it again. I could watch any number of Christmas movies with similar stories that are much better again. Even though I don't think it holds up as well as it used to. The Santa Claus is one, and then, of course, Scrooge. And even there's some fucking Christmas that almost wasn't peppered in there with the mall Santa shit.
Like, I would watch Christmas that almost wasn't again before I watch this again.
Sure. No, same. And I mean, I say mall Santa. He's not technically a mall Santa, but, like, he's playing the character like a mall Santa would in a sense, where it's like he's in the chair, he's seeing kids, but he's also shilling products, which is like a weird thing that even like by the end of the movie, Whoopi's like, oh, we're shilling a plastic Jesus? That's gotta be sacrilegious. Like, it's a weird fucking movie that I don't even know how it got made, to be perfectly honest.
Shopping Channel Santa.
By TNT, though. Like if QVC put this out, I'd be like, okay, it kind of makes a little more... I don't know. I've said what I've had to say. I don't want to keep picking at the bones of poor Call Me Claus here, but not a fan. Didn't hate it, but definitely didn't like it.
Oh, yeah. So we got to see what Haggerty and Dobby have on the schedule for our next episode. I think it's something about a killer snowman, I believe.
Yeah, Michael Keaton, he goes out in his car in a snowstorm, and he crashes and he dies. And a couple years later, his wife's really sad about it, his son's really sad about it, but then he comes back as a fucking snowman, and he has like a snowball fight with his son.
Wait. Oh, you're thinking of the other Jack Frost. This one's about a serial...
Oh.
Yeah, this is the one where a serial killer jumps into or crashes into a fucking chemical truck and fuses with a bunch of snow and becomes a killer mutant snowman.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
And fucks Shannon Elizabeth in a bathtub with a carrot.
To literal death.
I think I watched the wrong movie. I'll have to report back next week.
No, just go into it, Sean. Just go into it with that one.
Wouldn't that be wild if you just didn't vocalize that until we started talking about it?
Yeah. Imagine if I wasn't doing a bit. That would be crazy, right?
That would be bad, because then you'd have to go watch it.
Then you'd know I never watched the fucking promo at that point. Like, let's be perfectly honest.
No, well, that too. Wait a minute, shit. We forgot to mention in the beginning of the episode, it's been crazy, guys. Like, we've been trying to put out all this stuff and get all this good stuff out to you guys with the promos and the episodes and the prizes and the contests and stuff. So we do have a contest going on. You're going to see that. You're going to see some more of that on the social media pages that we have, like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and stuff. But yeah, each episode is going to have that secret Haggerty code that you want to listen for, and message us on your favorite social media app to enter, and we're giving away some really cool stuff. There's secret Santa prize packs with items from Lunch Meat VHS, Tapes from the Crypt, and Sadist Art Designs, and you're going to win a bunch of cool Christmas movie dumpster stuff, including a Trashing Through the Snow 2020 t-shirt with brand new artwork by Davey the Scaredy Cat DeForn, our resident artist, and some other good stuff in there, a movie dumpster Christmas ornament, all kinds of good stuff. But yeah, definitely don't forget to enter. And, you want to support us, support your favorite show, go to Patreon for $2, $5, and $10 tiers. $5 gets you some sticker packs, access to commentary tracks and minisodes. $10 gets you a t-shirt, enamel pin, access to those commentary tracks and those minisodes as well. And you get some cool movie dumpster swag to go with that. And for no money at all, you can head over to Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. If you're digging the show, we love to hear from you. So leave us a review, write us an email, shoot us a message, shoot the shit. Sign up for that Patreon, read some questions from you guys. Lots of fun stuff.
Get out of the dumpster and away from this fucking movie. And
well, that too, yeah.
Get us into other people's eardrums. And we always love to thank our patrons specifically. Thank you to Hunter Davenport, Brendan Lemune, the Autistic Gamer 89, Christopher, Jacob Chavez, Leonardo Roberto Talavera Barocio.
Miracle on Gorlami Street.
Okay. Amanda Tweed, Joe Has a Mustache, Dustin Elkins, Nick Lowry, Dalton Bell, Sergio Murillo, Matt Collins, Tyler Monty, Lucio Fulci's butt, Julie Lockwood. Huh.
Heyo.
There you go. Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome. I love you guys.
Kyle McDonald, Nicholas Walters, Justin Kiefer, Daniel Perhaps, Jacob Fonsbeck, Patrick Farmer, Tony from Hack the Movies, C.B. Smith, Arlen Haro, and John. Possibly John Hurt. We're still not sure about that, John. Don't tell us. We don't want to actually know.
Yeah, don't ever tell us because the bit will die.
But thank you all for being our patrons and for all your support.
Thank you guys so much, and thank you, Julie, for coming on once again.
Thank you guys for having me.
Anytime.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for bringing this snowman poop covered atrocity to the MDU. And
I mean, are you really thanking me? It doesn't sound like you're very thankful.
I mean,
Please find more cynical Christmas movies for me to just gobble up.
yes.
I mean, I can always do that.
And, you brought us this nightmare. Joe brought us Elves, and I brought us Home Alone 4. So let's continue the trend next year.
Yeah. And we hope you have a whoopee Christmas, right?
I don't. I hope you have a genuinely good Christmas. A Whoopi Christmas sounds terrible.
A Patrick Swayze Christmas.
I hope you have a jumping Jingle Bells Christmas.
So that's it. That's Call Me Claus from 2001, directed by Peter Werner.
Hey everybody, if you want some more bad movie goodness, you can check us out at moviedumpsterpodcast.com.
Subscribe to us anywhere you listen to your podcast, and make sure to leave us a 5-star review if you dig the show, because it helps us get out of the bottom of the dumpster and into more eardrums.
Yeah, and if you're on the social medias, you can follow us at Movie Dumpster on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm Joel Escola.
I'm Sean O'Rourke.
Call me Connor McGraw.
I'm Julie Lockwood.
Thanks for visiting the dumpster.
Whatever hardships may come your way in the years which lie ahead, don't ever lose hope. If you just keep the spirit of Christmas alive in your hearts, you can survive anything. Merry Christmas. God bless. Goodbye. And good luck.
Why did he say good luck?